Hey, 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 hey. We're testing here. We are, hey, Nick, Nick. We're testing here. I said he's leaving. Damn, that was fast. Yes, this is just a test. This is just a test. But until she come back in, and until she come back in, we're gonna watch Solar again. We're gonna watch Solar again. We're gonna watch him till she come back. Um, ooh. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Hoo, hoo. Ah, thank you. Ah, yes, this is the Tony T. This is why I hate Tony. I don't even when they call me Tony. This is the Tony T. Hey, my tea biscuits. This is my tea biscuits. My tea biscuit, but we will definitely show this again. Wait, I'm up here acting like I got it already. Hold on. Hold up. Wait. You say you owe me a whole baby, damn it. Whew, I can't even spell. I know you will. From the midnight train to Georgia. Okay, where are ya? All right, guys, I got something I want you to see. I'm supposed being bad. All right, here we go. I got something for you guys. I got something for you. Let's just see what happens.
Some people call me honorable because I'm a retired judge. Some people call me attorney. Some people call me some worse names, but it's all good. I'm originally from Gary, Indiana. Graduated from Hampton University, came to Cincinnati for law school. I've been a prosecutor. I've been a civil rights attorney. This is all before I became a judge. And then I spent 13 years as a judge, hearing all types of cases at all levels. Ran for Supreme Court about 10 years ago, um, and retired from the bench at 48. Like I said, after 13 years, 2.5 years ago, and joined the Cochran firm, where I am now the managing partner of our Cincinnati office. And I do personal injury, wrongful death, civil rights cases, anything to make sure that
I've been
people
having
are
my juice,
justly dealt
haha,
with in our system.
and I'm getting icy.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's quite
And
the resume.
yes, and then I know that he had actually a viral case a couple of years ago of a gentleman when you were on the bench would sleep on the side of the road, right, with his kid in the car.
So he wasn't asleep; he was OD'd.
Right.
Yeah,
That
he
went
was.
viral.
Yeah, it did. It just so happened that one of the news agencies was in the courtroom at the time, and I averaged about 50 cases a day in our courtrooms. So I preside over several 100,000 cases. In this particular case, heroin obviously is a big pandemic in certain parts of our community. This man who was in his mid 40s had OD'd, he and his wife actually, with his 9-year-old child in the back seat, and the 9-year-old child had called 911 to report that his parents died and he couldn't wake them up. And so you could hear on the recording the 911 call. And so he appeared in front of me for child endangering and possession and some other things. And fortunately for him, um, unfortunately for him, probably he was in front of me. And I was never shy about um, letting my opinion be known while I was on the bench. And so that did go viral. And then like now there's one of those national like networks put music to it when I was kind of going off on it and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and it was all about the commentary about how horrible this heroin epidemic is and the impact that it has on the most innocent in our communities, and that's the kids.
Mhm. That's so
Right.
true. Yep.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
something that's plaguing all over the world, especially in America. Yep.
Yeah.
right.
This is one of those cases. There are people, Stenson included, but there have been people that have been following this cult for 5, 6 years or more.
Hmm.
And he has always evaded justice. And this is the very first time it looks like there could be a possibility that he could actually go to prison. And people are very, I mean, every time he has a bond hearing, they're like, is he going to get out on bond? Do you think he's going to get bond? Do you think he's going to get bond? Like, literally, like, people are concerned that he's going to be able to come back out and abuse cult members again. I think a lot of the legal questions are the ones that people are really wanting to have answered. And we haven't really had an opportunity to answer any of those questions by someone that really would know.
Yeah, like a real attorney. There's a lot of pretend ones, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a lot of pretend ones. But there, I mean, and most of the questions that I know that I shared with you are questions that I see almost on a daily basis, multiple times a day. And so that was the reason why I really wanted to reach out to you. And so I'll just get to it. And since, and like I said, you just jump in wherever you see fit. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Hey guys, this move is really going to be great for us.
Probably not.
So I'm gonna just ask real quick. The very first question is that he has a bond hearing coming up this coming Thursday. This will be his second time going before the Superior Court judge and for asking for bond. Now, the first question that people have been asking is that it says bond reconsideration hearing on, excuse me, bond reduction hearing on the website. And they're like, why does it say bond reduction hearing when he doesn't have a bond, number one? Any idea there?
Yeah, I have an idea that somebody improperly put in reduction when they typed it in.
Right, exactly.
It's just a bond hearing.
Right.
The semantics of saying whether it's a bond reduction or a bond hearing, it's not really legally relevant. The question is he going to receive a bond? Because up to this point, he has, under Georgia law, been held without bond.
Exactly.
And most states have requirements. I know in Ohio, there is a constitutional requirement that a bond be given, except in capital cases. Mm-hmm. Every state passes the laws as they see fit. And so Georgia has theirs. It says we can hold folks without bond if we consider them to be a danger to the community and or a flight risk, which a judicial officer has to determine at each stage of the process, which they've done at this point.
Right, and they have. He selected, actually, they used the YOLA factors, and the Superior Court judge that saw him in the first bond hearing selected all 4 of the reasons: flight risk, danger to the community, likely to commit another felony while out on bond, and intimidating witnesses, and possibility of intimidating the victim. So he selected all of them as his reason for denial. So he's going to, before the bond hearing. Now in Georgia, and I've kind of explained this to all of my subscribers, if you are unindicted after 90 days of being in custody, they have to give you a bond. It doesn't have to be anything you can pay, but they have to legally give you a bond. So when he goes back to court, and I think I counted it up, he's going to be, I think, at like 85 days.
85, yeah.
Because he got arrested on April 14th, and he'll be in court on July the 6th, and that'll be the 85th day. So he won't be at 90. What's the likelihood that he could get a bond at 85 days? And also, wouldn't it have been more of a strategy if his attorney would have tried to reschedule him for maybe the next calendar hearing?
Well, I mean, what we're talking about is an issue of procedural semantics. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that, okay, so as you just stated, it's required, if there's no indictment after 90 days, that there has to be a bond given. Mm-hmm. But the bond doesn't have to be, quote, reasonable.
Right.
So whether, that's why I say it's procedural semantics. So yeah, they could have said it on the 90th day or the 91st day or the 89th day and forced the judge to order a bond. I can tell you, as a judge who set thousands of bonds, it's completely within the discretion of the judge, absent some tender circumstances or exceptions. And so, okay, he has to receive a bond. Fine, $1 million. Mm. He's still going to be in that same place, more than likely, because they will have assessed his finances to determine what he has the ability to pay and what he doesn't. And so in giving him a bond, sure, we gave him a bond. We've met our legal and procedural requirements, but is still going to, in all likelihood, hold him in jail until they get an indictment or decide what they're going to do with the charges.
Okay. And I agree with that. But I know that has been, Stinson, did you have anything else on the bond? Because I know that that's a concern of everybody's, but I don't see him getting a bond this Thursday or.
No, it doesn't seem like he would, because just like this gentleman just said, that he can set him one, but it doesn't have to be reasonable.
Right.
Like, and I didn't even realize about the assessing the finances.
Right. Exactly. Okay. And so,
Hey! What's your name? Aaron?
The other question that people have been really wanting to know is that Nutureboy lived his life online. Pretty much everything he did 24 hours a day, he did it online so that the world could see it. The people have been asking a lot about what would be the likelihood? There have been 2 strange deaths that happened under Nutureboy's watch.
Yeah.
One being Mama Dia, who was I believe she was a Nicaraguan citizen, right? And they were in Mexico.
Yes.
And she was in her 50s.
50, yeah,
and,
her 50s, yeah.
and she was there for like 2 months. Can you kind of tell the story, Stinson?
Yeah, she was like she was a little bit of an older lady who went there to do the whole live in nature. Well, the problem with that was she had some medical conditions. Main I think she would, do not quote me. I think she may have been a diabetic, but don't hold me to that. But I know she had some heart issues and medication that she had to take for that. Now, this is before I began watching, but I remember the things that came out later. She did pass away over there. And, the way they handled it wasn't good. They kind of handled it poorly, the cult, Nutureboy, and the members. But yeah, she passed away on his watch because she was told not to take her medication, that nature would heal her. Everything that she needed was here in nature. She just had to believe. And because of that, she's no longer here.
And then the other one being a baby. One of the cult members became pregnant by one of the men cult members, and they no one ever saw the baby. She is U.S. citizen, but they were they in Hawaii when she had the baby?
No, I don't think they were in Hawaii.
No, Puerto Rico. Get together.
Trying to remember where they were at.
Puerto Rico.
Actually.
Let's get together.
So if they weren't in Hawaii, they were in South America. It would have been like Colombia or
Puerto
Costa
Rico,
Rica, Panama, one of those, because they were moving around because they kept being deported.
Puerto Rico.
But anyway,
U.S. territory.
No one ever saw the baby. And their story is that the baby was stillborn in the hospital, but they didn't receive any documentation, and they didn't receive any, the stillborn 40-week fully gestational fetus that was stillborn. You didn't get anything for. There's no documentation that the baby ever even existed, no death certificate, and nobody. They said that the hospital kept the body. So the question that people have been overwhelmingly asking is that, can the United States, do anything to investigate these deaths that happen? And can he be held accountable for them?
If they happen in Hawaii, absolutely, because obviously Hawaii is one of the 50 states. But if it's something that happened in another country, the United States doesn't necessarily have jurisdiction to investigate and charge someone. They don't have jurisdiction. So what we talk about when we talk about the courts and the legal system is the question of jurisdiction. It's one that we face in court every day. It's one they face in federal courts, but one we face in state courts. And if you look at the laws, someone can only be charged based on what the law says. So I can't charge someone in Ohio for a law that says something in Florida. I don't have jurisdiction over something that happens outside of my borders, my geographic borders. So Georgia can't charge him for what happened in Hawaii. The federal government could, the Hawaiian government could, which is, just state court. Or if it happened in another country, the other country can charge him. Now, there then becomes a question federally, can the U.S. government pursue criminal charges against someone who acts against a U.S. citizen? If he is accused of doing something to a U.S. citizen in another country, arguably the government may have jurisdiction to prosecute him for taking the life of that person. But even then, the likelihood is that that foreign government would have to initiate charges and then request extradition or taking him from the United States and sending him over to that country for his trial to be heard. We've seen this numerous times over the years in pretty highly publicized cases.
Okay, so by Mama Dia being a Nicaraguan citizen and it happening in Mexico, there's really nothing that the U.S. authorities could do.
No, this country can't prosecute someone for what happens in another country any more than Russia or China or Cuba can prosecute someone in this country or someone in their country for something that happened somewhere else.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, and back to Mama Dia, she was actually 59 years old. I just wanted to correct that.
Okay. Thank you.
At Metro by T-Mobile, upgrade to 5G and save more. With one line of unlimited 5G for just $40.
Let me ask this, and I don't want to, I want to first put it out there that I don't know what the victim is planning to do, but being the fact that it's a cult and we've kind of seen that they're very flaky. One day they're this way, one day they're that way. They're, you can expect the unexpected when you're dealing with them. So I want to just ask that if she were to refuse to cooperate for trial, like to show up for trial, the more severe charges, the R charge and the false imprisonment.
We want to hear that.
If she were to not, like, can't be found, like she's in the jungle in Costa Rica, and when it's time for her to testify, what would be the likely outcome?
Well, there are certain types of offenses that the victim's presence is extremely useful and expected in order for there to be some type of conviction. Rape, kidnapping, false imprisonment, those are all charges where the victim is...
Oh no, let's get these likes up. Let's get these likes up, please. Please, let's get these likes up. Please support the channel. Can we get some likes, guys? Can we get some likes? Can we get some likes? Can we move these likes up some? If you're in the bushes, come on, let's get these likes up. I appreciate that. Let's go, let's go. Let's go. Can we get like 2 more likes? Can we get just 2 more likes? Okay, we need 1 more. 1 more. Okay, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
is needed,
yeah,
in order for the testimony to establish what was going on. Now, there are certain exceptions. There can be prosecutions of cases where the victim is not present. I mean, there are murder charges that are convicted. People convicted on murder charges all the time, and obviously the victim is not there to testify, but there's other evidence that supports the conviction. So it can be done, but it's incredibly difficult and rare for there to be a conviction of those types of offenses if the victim cannot be located, or if they are located but they change their stories, or they're not cooperative. And of course, we see that a lot.
Oh, wow.
Well, I know one of the things that I've been hearing a lot of people say, well, they have her statement from her initial complaint when she spoke with investigators before, they made the charge. So would they be able, to use that if, for instance, she was not able to be located?
Yep. So here we get into some particulars of rules of evidence. Statements, out-of-court statements, offered for the truth of the matter being asserted is generally known as hearsay. And that's the legal thing. What does that mean practically? That means if somebody's saying something about something, if they're not there to be questioned about it, you can't hear about it. So if I today go on the stand and I'm testifying, and what I'm testifying to is what somebody else said, how can that be tested for credibility? If I'm not the person that said it, I'm just the person that heard it. You can't ask the person who actually observed something, the first person who witnessed something, the first person who experienced something. You can't ask them, cross-examine them, to determine how credible their observation is. I'm just telling you what I heard. So that's hearsay. Well, there are certain exceptions to hearsay. There's a long list of them in the federal rules. There's a long list of them in every state. There's something called non-hearsay. And one of the rules of non-hearsay is where the witness is something called unavailable. That could mean that they passed away. It could mean that they are now incapacitated, incapable of providing testimony. Perhaps they were in a horrible car accident and are now disabled with the inability to speak. And so those statements that they gave could be entered, but they still have to be measured for that question of the credibility of the statement. I can make a statement today, be in a horrible car crash, and then they submit my statement on the stand. And then it comes out that Fanon was not that credible. He used to make up a lot of stories. Just by virtue of the fact that my statement is recorded does not make it a credible statement. That's what's called indicia of reliability that have to be confirmed before that statement can be introduced. And there has to be some very strong evidence that the person is truly unavailable and not just that they hiding out from a subpoena.
But okay, let me ask you this though. But when they make the first initial statement with investigators, aren't they making that under oath?
Not necessarily. And surprisingly, people lie under oath.
I mean, right. So essentially, his defense attorney could get her original statement to investigator thrown out of the coming into the trial if she were not present.
Again, possibly, and that's, as a lawyer, that's probably my most common answer. Possibly, maybe, and let me explain.
Right.
If she's just not showing up to court, not responding to a subpoena, that's all they know. No, the statement's not coming in. If again, it's shown by law that she's unavailable, either she's deceased, or there's evidence that she's disabled or incapacitated somehow, then that statement could come in, but it will still have to be lined up with other credible evidence to support the credibility of that statement. That could be a a rape testing kit. That could be statements from corroborating witnesses. That could be evidence of physical abuse that went along with the consistency of the statement. I mean, there's other stuff that would have to be submitted in order for that statement to have the credibility necessary for it to be considered admissible. Not just the fact that she's not there.
Okay.
All right, I think that answers that for me. Now, and kind of along the same lines.
I'm TC. When I looked in the mirror, I saw a flat tummy.
And again, there's nothing that indicates that she would do this, but I just want to throw out it as a possible scenario, just because they, like I said, cult members typically are, you got to expect the unexpected. So if she were to recant her complaint, what would be the implications to his case? And does she have any criminal exposure?
It depends on how she recants it. If she says I lied, well then of course we're making a false police report. But then of course whether they would charge her or not would be based on what they investigate as to why she may have changed her story. If she was intimidated, and that was the reason why. If she was under some type of influence. I mean, there's a lot of things. very few answers in the law are black and white. Everything is gray. So the fact that she recanted, and it depends on when she recanted her story. If she recanted before the trial started, if she recanted on the stand and said, I lied, it never actually happened, I was angry at him, I made it up. Well, they may continue to prosecute and try to, what you can do is, because I had as a prosecutor that happened, more than a couple times where a victim of domestic violence or an assault would get on the stand and say, I know I said in the report, but I lied about that. And at that point, they were my witness. So I asked the judge, because now they have a position that's hostile to my position as the prosecutor for the state. I would ask the judge, may I proceed as if on cross? Because you understand, when you as the lawyer are questioning a witness, if the witness is your witness that you called, that's for your side, you can't ask them leading questions. You can't ask them certain things. But when they become a hostile witness, or you're cross-examining them, you have the ability to lead them and kind of, cajole them and kind of mess with them in order to get them to where you want them to go. So as a prosecutor, you can then say, Judge, I know this is my witness, but I'm asking to proceed as if on cross. And then I can delve into what it is that actually happened. Now, you do realize that when you sign this paper, that you raised your hand and told the truth. And when you did that, the officer was standing right there. You do realize, you can be much more aggressive.
Yeah.
In how you pull out what actually happened if it recants. So it depends on when they recant. Now, as a defense lawyer, you love it when they recant, because then the question is, well, which story is the true one? The one you told at the time, or the one that you're telling right now? One of them is the truth. It could be right now, or it could be at the time. The jury has a difficult task of trying to distinguish between those two. But recanting doesn't mean the case gets thrown out. It makes it more difficult for the state, and it gives the defense a smile.
Oh, I bet it does.
Okay, so I'm going to go right into my next question, which was my last one, and I'm going to have a caveat to it, which is a couple of days before the victim went to the police, she did a 7-hour interview with another YouTuber. And that video is no longer available. I'm sure it's still out there, but it's not where we can listen to it. But I did screen record part of what she said happened that night, okay? And this is about 1 minute and 30 seconds. I edited it just to get right to the point of it. And I just want to play a little bit. I want to play this for you and get your opinion on it.
I am cussing out.
Hold on, go back. Right, here we go. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
I ain't causing an issue. I ain't cussing out. Nothing. I just said I'm going. And I'm rolling my shit out the door at this point. My shoes off. And I'm getting to the car. And that's when they said, Baba G is calling you. God is calling you. Will you answer the call? So I go back inside. To tell him bye. And I hug him, and he says, I love you. And I said, I love you too. And that's when he started taking me into the other room. And I said, no, stop. Like, I really got to go at this point. Like, when my Uber's outside. So he takes me into the other room. And I start crying in his arms. Because, I don't know, I was just emotional. Everything was just, like, piling up on me. The Uber done left me. So I felt like I was trapped there again. And I was like, oh, my God. Like, I just missed the Uber. Like, and he's telling me, I'm not going to let you go. You know, you're my bitch. You're my property. And I'm telling him, like, you're going to have to let me go. I'm telling him, you're going to have to let me go. He's like, you think I can't let you go? And at this point, I'm looking him in the eyes and me being dumb. I got manipulated back in. Literally, like, I couldn't resist him in that moment. In that moment, I was really vulnerable. And he knew exactly what to say to me to help have me stay there with him. And yeah, we did make love in that moment.
Uh-oh.
I didn't want to, like, resist him.
Why?
Okay, that's all I was able to get. So with that, with that in mind, from a defense standpoint, is that problematic for the prosecution?
Well, I think there's things that are in there that are problematic for the prosecution and for the defense. Certainly, it's problematic for the prosecution that here's someone who claims to be afraid and in fear and to be oppressed by this person. And she says, yes, I didn't want to leave him. I, so yeah, we made love and I stayed. That's a problem for the state in trying to prove that somehow she felt like she was in danger. It's a problem for the defense because she's very clear that she was afraid of being manipulated, and that she was kind of afraid to leave. So it supports the state's position that she was intimidated into staying and didn't do this out of a desire to be there.
So when you talk about false imprisonment and you look at like the statute in Georgia, I remember reading the statute and it was to the effect of, did the person make it impossible for you to leave?
And that can be mental or physical.
Right. Okay.
Okay. And that's for the jury to decide, obviously, right? So right. So okay. I just want to add a caveat to that question, because within recent days, it has. Well, let me start with this: is that what his defense or what he has said happened all along is that
we don't have an echo,
and this was all on screen, where he was in the process of making his queen. And she was one of 3 of the people that he was considering to be queen, and that she wasn't selected, and that this is his version, that she got mad, she left, and next thing you know, he's got these charges, right? Now, what has surfaced in recent days is that she has now gone off with another cult member who had left after he was arrested. So I'm wondering how that, from a defense standpoint, does that bolster his argument of she didn't get what she wanted, and so she left, and now I have these charges because he says he didn't do this, right? And now she's with another cult member who is going to give her what she wanted, which was to be like a queen.
And the cult member, let me add, is now an ex. He says he's not a part of the cult anymore.
Mm-hmm. It's the unfortunate thing for defense is that there's corroboration in what she said as far as the physical abuse and the consistency of other people experiencing the same things that are coming forward. Mm-hmm. So yeah, this individual's story about why she left and and now her getting with another cult member, does that hurt the defense? No, it doesn't particularly help them either because of the other evidence that we have. None of these things can be viewed in a box. Mm-hmm. All of them have to be viewed in totality, because a trial is not tried in a box with this particular, a closed set of facts, particularly with something where you're talking about a cult leader who's being accused of using psychological and even physical warfare to intimidate and to keep folks where he wants them to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Testimony is never going to be individual. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a bunch of folks who are going to be testifying of the consistency of his actions. Now, if only one person testifies, it's not going to be a cult prosecution. It's going to be an individual prosecution of somebody who did something wrong. But they're saying that he was, doing this in a widespread way and was really oppressing numerous individuals, which means there's testimony corroborating from other sources and from other people, including ex-cult members. And that's detrimental to the defense. I think we saw that kind of in the R. Kelly trial as well.
Right.
Right. Now, if they other cult members have been reluctant in the past to speak on him.
Very
Um,
reluctant. Yeah.
right. So, is that where they could use like the video evidence of what he put online to
So
corroborate?
let me just say, as a judge, I used to say it in my courtroom quite frequently, and I post about it on social media. It if you post about it, judges, prosecutors, police officers, parole officers watch it. I don't care what you think, and it
Right.
will go up in court. So when folks are posting pictures of guns, when folks are making comments about what they did, the night before, when folks are posting what they think are, um, you, you know, how can I say it, self-promoting activities, like what he was doing for the 100,000, or excuse me, 10,000, 25,000 people that were watching him every day on Instagram and on social media, other social media. He was providing as much evidence as the state wants to use against him.
Okay. Good to
Okay.
know. That's good to know.
So I know.
So basically, the videos may not be used as hearsay. Number one, the videos may not be used as hearsay, number one. And number two, now we found out that other people were talking. We found out that, hey, Felicia, now we found out that other people was talking. Well, she should have showed if she was smart, she would have showed the video where Velvet said that she was bait. She should have sent them the video, not saying that because he baped her, that baped you. That just means that he's capable of it. I would have sent a lot of stuff that Velvet said. Woo wee.
I had given you a complaint. In Ohio, a lot of people have been saying, well, if he gets bond in Georgia, Ohio's going to come get him. He still has these Ohio charges.
No, he does
and
not.
He's going to have a detainer. He's not going to be able to, get away from those charges. And so I just wanted to first get a clear understanding of like what exactly he is charged with and what those charges
Domestic.
actually mean as far as a detainer, and if Ohio would go get him for that charge.
So first of all, if I saw correctly, I saw a single count of domestic violence.
That's it.
And it even said M1,
Yes.
which the allegations suggested an M4. What does that mean? An M1 is a first degree misdemeanor, which is the highest degree of misdemeanor, right below a low felony. Domestic violence on a first offense is a first degree misdemeanor. A subsequent charge of domestic violence is a felony. This said that he threatened somebody, and that made it a first degree misdemeanor. Unless he has prior convictions for violence, it's actually only a fourth degree misdemeanor, which that's getting too technical.
They probably mischarged it.
I'm sorry?
They probably mischarged it.
Well, he does actually have previous charges with his
First baby mama.
his other baby mother. I won't say her name on here, but she filed charges on him years ago.
In Ohio?
Other convictions?
No, it wasn't in Ohio. I believe it was in Georgia. Atlanta.
They were
And were these
convictions.
violent charges, and was he convicted?
I don't think he was actually convicted in the end. I think, God, I wish I could remember. They were violent, however. And
So
he
if
said
he was not convicted, then they count for the convictions that can raise or elevate the degree of offense.
okay.
So if I read it correctly, he's charged for threatening somebody, which is actually a fourth degree misdemeanor, which is one level higher than a payout ticket, a speeding ticket, a weed ticket, a stop sign violation.
Velvet ain't do nothing.
That's it.
Velvet ain't
And when
do
we
shit.
talk about extradition or sending folks from one state to another, there are certain rules when it comes to extradition or pickups. The state where the charge is has to basically send out notice to the whole world, look, we want to come get this person. Depending on the level of offense, there is or is not a defined pickup radius. If I have a speeding ticket in Ohio and I go to Georgia, I do not have a 400-mile pickup radius for a speed ticket, because Ohio is not going to pay the amount of money that it's going to take to pick me up and bring me back to Ohio for a speed ticket.
Right.
Certain charges have a nationwide pickup radius. I actually put charges on somebody that had an international pickup radius. But some charges, or very few charges, have a national pickup radius that are misdemeanors because they're just not serious enough, nor is the amount of money that has to be spent justifiable to prosecute somebody for something that they're only going to get at the max 6 months in jail for. You may have a statewide pickup for a misdemeanor, but it's very rare to have a national pickup radius. So if all he's charged with the misdemeanor, a 4th degree misdemeanor, a 2nd degree, a 1st degree, the likelihood is that they're not going to.
I hate to cut him off, but I tried to tell y'all, Velvet didn't do nothing. That threat was only there because he was threatening her over the internet. She did not press charges of the abuse. She let Nutureboy slide. And y'all gave her all of them props for nothing. She did nothing. That's why I was telling you guys earlier. Y'all could say but none of them have pressed charges. Regardless of the reasoning why Nutureboy pressed charges, she's the only one that went through it. She's the only one that went through it. Velvet could have the same things that happened to Janae happened to Velvet. She never said she was bait. She never said that he hit her. Remember when she left? He sat there and did a revenge porn tape on her also. She never did that. And y'all giving her all these accolades like, oh, she got him. She did nothing. She did absolutely nothing. This man said basically what Velvet did was right above a speeding ticket. And everybody was like, oh my God, he's going to Ohio. No, she didn't get the divorce yet, Tammy. So we up there thinking, yeah. And I kept telling you guys, no. All she did was say that he was threatening her online. That was it. She did not tell her story to the popo. She did not do it. She had really no parts of taking this man down. All she did was make sure she had a restraining order, which made absolutely no sense because she's over there and he's over there. He's nowhere near to bother her. Now, she would have said, okay, he may not can't bother me, but he's sending people out to get me and I don't feel safe because he has a cult following and I'm scared for my life. That's different. That is different. Now we have compiled how much jealousy. See, the only way that's going to turn this case around if they watch videos like ours, where we have shown the constant jealousy he had for that girl because she was not in love with him. That's going to be her meal ticket because it's been proven over and over and over. He was jealous that she was in love with the man that she's with. So she just didn't go back and just go back to her. She just didn't pick somebody else from the cult and say, I'm going to date you. She went with the man she always loved. And that's been proven year after year after year. Not just a year. It's been, how far can we go back of her stating her love for Sola? How many videos can we go back when he humiliated and embarrassed this girl? So once she, now, when the girl stated that the same way they stated that she made love, that's just one video out of many that Nature Boy have disrespected her. That's one video out of many when Nature Boy said, you are mine. And it's not a thing that, okay, she couldn't get what she wanted. You got to back up. You got to back it up. When Fufu and them was slapping on people and beating up on people, and they taunted that girl, and they was out to get that girl, and they was beating up them girls, they kept her stuff, they stopped her from getting in the thing. What made her use them choice of words as in love? I don't know. What made her use them choice of words? I don't know. She said she gave in. You know what? It's okay that she gave in. Every woman over there gave in. Every woman over there got manipulated and gave in. And if this judge is doing, I don't know if he's doing the case or familiar with the case. I don't know why she would play that one part. I get that she's trying to see that whatever obstacle his lawyers is going to lose, she wanted an answer. She wanted an answer. Right? But, ooh. Yeah, yes.
Hold him or extradite him from Georgia to Ohio on that charge. That's the likelihood, because it's not a felony. If it was a felony, different story.
Right.
But on a misdemeanor, even though it's a violent offense, not likely. Yeah, and there's that whole jurisdiction thing again.
Mm-hmm.
If it was possible for one jurisdiction to prosecute for another, we could just send the complaint down to Georgia and say, all right, take care of this while he's in there.
Right, and they're not going to do that. That's not how. Right, so I even have people asking if Georgia can investigate what happened over in Costa Rica and Mexico. I'm like, no, they don't do that.
Mm-mm.
Correct.
So
now, they could go over there to investigate to see if there's some evidence there that helps them with their case in Georgia. Like we see a lot of times in homicide cases, the homicide detectives will travel from Texas to New York to talk to a witness or to talk to a defendant. That's investigating, but they're not investigating something that happened in New York. They're investigating what happened in Texas. They're just having to travel to New York to talk to the witness who knows something about what happened down there in Texas.
Right. Yeah.
Well, Stinson, do you have any other questions?
I'm thinking. I did want to ask you. Have you ever seen a cult leader ever go to trial before? Have you ever seen anything like this?
Yes, there was, if I recall, a person in either Oklahoma or Utah. It was one of those large cults where, oh my goodness, he fathered like 20 or 30 children in part of the cult. And they had charged him several times for a few different things related to, false imprisonments. And they ended up getting on weapons charges or something like that. But I do recall, and he ended up getting 30 years or so as a cult leader. Now, there's no charge for being a cult leader.
Right.
The charges are always lateral to somebody exercising their authority as a leader of the cult.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because it's not illegal,
Right,
to claim that you're, some type of savior and get people to follow you. It's illegal to have them molest their children.
Yeah,
It's
like
illegal.
Warren Jeffs, they couldn't get him.
Yeah, Warren Jeffs. That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
right. They couldn't get him on saying that he was the prophet. What they were eventually able to get him on was taking on child brides and other things. Yeah.
There's only been one prosecution I'm aware of somebody who claimed that he was the savior.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that's in a book about 2,000 years old.
right, exactly. But he does. I mean, he says that he's three gods. So, and he's being persecuted. So that's his claim to fame. Anything else, Tenzin?
No, but I really want to say I appreciate you taking your time coming on here and answering these questions, because from a legal standpoint, we really did not understand, and a lot of our people that follow this case didn't understand. And I really appreciate you taking out your time to answer these questions, because they're important and we really wanted to understand.
Right. And if I could tell you, like, the number of people who have been following him for a very long time, a lot of people have been asking these questions, and I'm just glad that I can at least put something in front of them with someone who actually knows the answers.
Oh, I did have one more question. If he was to get bond, would he be on a very restrictive bond because of his charges?
Well, that completely depends on the judge. Again, as judges, we have, and I still say we because I'm still considered
right.
We have broad discretion in the terms of bond. There were cases where I would order strictly a cash bond. I would order just on somebody's agreement that they would come back. Sometimes I would order something called a jurist monitor or a GPS, where they would actually have a strap placed on their bodies that would show exactly where they are anywhere in the county, so that if they went in a certain distance from the victim, their phone would automatically call the police. And that was discretionary. So my guess is, based on these allegations, based on the concern that there is about his reach and his really flight risk,
Yeah,
they would probably not only place a high monetary bond, but there would probably be some very, as you suggest, restrictive requirements on his movement while he's on bond waiting for trial on his case.
Well, at least that's good to know if he was to get it.
Well, now understand, I had a client, well, not a client, excuse me, I had a defendant in front of me who was on the box. She was on GPS monitoring while her case was pending, and she didn't like it. And she she cut it off. She cut her bracelet off.
Huh.
Now, obviously, that alerted the authorities, and they went and found her and picked her up. And then she made some really ridiculous comments, so I ended up locking her up and keeping her in jail until her trial. But there was a period of time where she could have cut the box and been gone. So, it's kind of like when people say, I got a protection order against that person. Well, that's great, it's a great piece of paper.
Mhm.
Right.
What you gonna do with that piece of paper when they come banging on your door? Throw it out.
Yeah.
I mean, these devices of restrictive movements and restriction on movements and on people's freedom while cases are pending are only um, as strong, as powerful, as useful as the person is willing to submit to what
That
that
is,
item is.
yeah,
And I have to
yeah,
do
that
fast.
is true. Yeah.
If he decides, yeah, I'm on the box, I got $1 million bond, I posted the bond, I'm on the box. If he decides I can give up that million, I'm cutting my bracelet, he could be gone and we're not finding for 10 or 15 years.
Wow.
Unless there's somebody posted outside his house 24 hours, which I don't see them expending those type of resources if he has to post a bond. Because the idea of posting a high bond is that somebody is not willing to give up that money. They're going to show back up because they can't afford to forfeit that amount. That's why in very serious cases, there's a very high bond because the lower the bond, if I'm out on murder and I've killed a few people, what's the allegation? Give me a $10,000 bond. You know what? It's worth it to give that 10,000 to be gone and people not find me or to be able to be prosecuted.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it so much, Fanon. I appreciate this so much. And I know that you are very, very busy. So this means this is my
Yeah. Definitely.
and this is my very, very first interview and my very first stream.
Yeah.
Very good. Congratulations on the new venture.
Okay, thank you. Anything else, Denton, before we go?
No, he's answered everything. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you, Fanon. Thank you, everybody, for joining the stream today.
So now we know that it's still, we don't know. We don't know. We don't know. So now we have to stop thinking that we are lawyers and because of the videos that, like he said, a lot of that is hearsay. That's hearsay. Hold on, guys. Yeah, me too. Good for. I'm glad Baby Jai is safe. Mm. Felicia, they went back home. Yeah, but now let's go back down memory lane where Velvet was in the same predicament that Nateri was in, but she never told the cops nothing. I kept trying to tell you guys, Jay was, oh yes, Velvet gonna get him. I'm like, no, Velvet didn't do nothing. Velvet did absolutely nothing but ask for a restraining order. That's just it. She don't hold no weight in taking him down because she didn't want nothing to happen to him. She didn't want nothing to happen to Nature Boy. She just wanted to go off and do her. There's no way this is you. This is you after you found out that you were put on Twitter and everybody saw you going down and you said you were bait and stuff like that, but you never told the popo. Because then if Velvet would have reported that reverse that porn thing, it would show that he has a pattern. It would show that he has a pattern. But nobody never did nothing but talked on social media. So he just might get born tomorrow, guys. He just might get born tomorrow. He just might get it. Only thing that's going to send him to jail is that baby. And it's going to send a lot of people with them.
Looking for the truth. I wanted to live the truth. I wanted to live a right way of life. And this nigga pops up in my reality saying how he got all of this knowledge and how he got all of this and he got all of that. And I believed him. I believed him with my whole entire being because I didn't have any experience. Because I did not know what the fuck I was getting myself into. I was a fucking baby at spirituality. I trusted him. I was 19 when I joined Combination. 19. I sit before you today at 24. I gave the whole beginning of my adulthood to this man. Period. I am going to speak up for all of the people who are not speaking up for themselves right now. Period.
I'm going to speak up for all the people who have not who cannot speak up for themselves. But guess what? That never happened. As we see, that never happened. It never happened.
I'm moving on right now. I am moving on right now, and I'm helping everybody else who went to Combination who can't speak for themselves move on right now.
I'm helping everybody in Combination right now who can't speak up for themselves. As we see, that never happened. It took Nateri to do it. And then you were happy. You were happy when Nateri did it. You know why? Who saw the video? Who saw the video recently when they were talking? And she was happy Nateri did it. You know why? Because she couldn't do it. Thank you, Nick. She was happy that Nateri did it because she didn't do it. But it happened to her first. When you went to court, why did you stop at, I want a restraining order? She could have said, he did this to me. He did that to me. He did revenge porn on me. He bait me. He bait them girls. He did this. He did that. She said nothing. Nothing. That would have made this. The man said, other people should have spoken out. The man says they see all the videos. Of course they see all the videos. That's their job to see the videos. But it's not reported. But we'll carry on because she's helping all the people that need to be helped. But what happened to the help? What happened to the help? Remember, I'm only commentating off the video and what she is saying. I don't want to hear nothing about nobody. No, I'm only repeating what she's saying. If y'all can't take commentary, then this is not the page for you.
There was a woman who just texted me about the confusion that she had, and I had no energy to help her in that moment. None. Because of the fact that I have to purge this energy out of me so much every day because I give so much of my time, so much of my life. I had a child with this man, literally. So the only thing that I could think about was to just sit there and cry. Literally cry. Because of the fact that there are not people who are speaking up about it, who left cognition, who are.
She had to literally cry for the people who left carbonation and did not speak up about it. But come to find out, you didn't either. You did not either. So what was the difference from them talking online and you talking online and you crying because they didn't speak out? But shit, you didn't either.
I'm not speaking up about it. People get mad at me. Because I speak up about it. I don't.
Now people mad at her because she spoke up about it. But according to that judge, you did not speak up about it. According to that judge,
give a fuck what nobody gotta say. This is my life and I am not gonna let him silence me, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I sat there and I watched him abuse all of those people. Why in the hell in my life would I sit there, give my whole life to somebody, say that they are the Messiah, give them all the motherfucking glory, and then sit back and be quiet and say nothing? No, I stand up for righteousness. I am a child of God. I am not a child of a devil. Why?
Okay, we hear you, but the courts ain't heard you. Because you're not speaking up, Janae case may go in the garbage. It may go in the garbage. Her lawyer, Nateri, should be spending some time with her damn lawyer. Because what they didn't ask, the question that they did not ask, hey, Coffee, what they didn't ask was, can people be subpoenaed for the case? That's what they forgot to ask the judge. You just say, yeah, he did the same exact thing to his baby mother. Can she get subpoenaed? Certain questions they forgot to ask. Can they be subpoenaed or can she bring them in to testify? Now, for them to testify is one thing. For them to be subpoenaed means you must show up. Because you can ask me to come and vouch for you. That doesn't mean I have to. But some questions in the interview, they forgot to ask. You know, this is not the first time he did this. He baped his baby mother and did the same thing and did revenge porn. Can she get subpoenaed? Because this is the video where she talks about it. Can she get subpoenaed? Or you got to ask yourself, or did they just want to get Nutureboy in jail so they can finally leave? Like, so Musa can finally leave and Sola can finally leave. The people who wanted to go can go, but that was their set free moment. So when he come back out, they are completely gone. and then he can carry on because he's going. If he comes out, you got that right. Subpoena everybody. But if he come back out, he's going to be like, oh, that's what they did to Jesus. I did this for you, my people. They persecuted Jesus, didn't they? So they persecuted us. And then I hate to say, because I really don't want to watch, but I do commentary on it. But at that time, everybody should cut his ass off. Just turn the TV. Watch something else. People who do commentary on it, we're stuck watching these things because it's our commentary, and this is what we cover. This is what we cover. That's what happened.
Can't I proclaim God's energy in the face of humanity? Why can't I do that? Why? That is so fucked up. He sits there and takes people's lives. He sits there and takes people away from their families, takes people away from their children, and tell them that they gonna go to hell if they talk bad about him. That's what the devil wants you to do. The devil wants you to be quiet. Don't be quiet. Don't be quiet. Stand up for yourself. Speak about it because there are got people on the internet right now watching this man and are confused. Confused. Literally, I praise God, Yahweh, whatever you want to call it. That's who I praise. That is the energy source that is in my life, that is keeping me strong the way that it is. Period. And I'm not going to sit by and sit idle and not give reverence or thanks to this energy that I feel inside of me from being guided out of combination. Nature Boy is a fucking demon. He's a fucking demon. He targets the youth because the youth does not have experience. These children are confused now about their spirituality because he confused them. And I'm here to tell you, everybody wants to have this weird ass way of looking at me. But guess what? Guess what? I went through it for 3 years. 3 years. Everybody that's in carbonation right now have not been there longer than me. Everybody who left carbonation before everyone who is there right now has not been there longer than me. I know everything about this nigga. I know everything. And the women who were with him before carbonation didn't get to see him in the light he's in now. I have everything. I can remove all confusion. I can remove all guilt, all doubt, all blasphemy, all of that shit. All of it. All of it. My tears are passion. My tears are passion for the truth. I will cry the truth. Just like I said there, on those lives, proclaiming his kingdom, proclaiming his knowledge, saying all of this about him, all of this giving him praise. I will do the same thing for the Most High. The energy that actually resides in all of us that we turn a blind eye to because we don't want to fucking work on our own selves. We like to talk about healing generational curses when we ain't healing shit because we're perpetuating the same shit that we talk about we're working on. Not doing the same shit over and over and being quiet about it. We sitting here being quiet about shit that we're supposed to be being loud about. You want to live a certain type of way. You want to do a certain type of thing. But if you don't speak it into existence, then you will never be it. Ever. Ever. You want to laugh at me. You want to clown me. You want to call me fake. You want to call me all of these names. But I'm sitting here doing the real work. You have never ever seen nobody who has come up out of carbonation, regained their spirituality, regained their individuality.
Yeah, we have.
Regained who they are.
We did.
It's not okay, and I'm not standing for it, and I'm going to be the one to be on this social media to tell them you can literally regain your power back. The only reason why you are confused because the devil is the author of confusion. You see the.
No, we did see people leave combination. We did see people regain their sanity. They just not on the internet. Did you mean to say they're not on the internet, but we see them? Y'all doing good in the mofo. Pocahontas doing good in the mofo. They doing good. They're just not on the internet. You're not the first one. You ain't never lie, honey. Yes, ma'am.
Devil in my room right now. If you don't understand, why are you even here? If you don't understand, why are you even here? Why do you even give your energy to something that you feel like that you don't agree with? Because you're a demon. Only demons do that. Only people who have negative energy in their hearts do that. Only people who
What the hell?
Like demonic sources do shit like that. Demons give their energy to negative shit. So if you're looking at me and you think you see negativity or you think you see a demon and you giving me energy and you doing all of this shit in my life, you're a fucking demon and you are being played back to yourself. You're going to have to get off the line and understand what the fuck shit that you did. You're going to have to look in the mirror. I'm already looking in the mirror. Every fucking day I get up, I look in the mirror. Not for only myself, but for humanity. Humanity. I am a humanitarian. I am a life path 9. I have a stellium in my chart with 5 planets in Aquarius, all backed up by 4th house, which is Cancerian. I am a mother of humanity. I am literally here to help heal and restore humanity psychologically. And when people come to my inbox asking me about their confusion of what they had going on in carbonation, and then I ask them if they are willing to openly talk about this shit, because everything was all put online. Everything that happened in carbonation was put online. We need to get on social media and talk about this openly, period. Because the shit is online. The shit is online already. People are being misled. It's not only about you. It's about humanity. It's about letting other people know out here that this shit is real, that it exists, that we actually...
Oh God, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Ah, too much for me. But talk about it online. But you served him papers because he was talking about you online, and you didn't tell the popo none of this. You want to tell social media this. That's the same thing as first, because I mean, I don't necessarily know. I don't know what's in nobody's heart. I don't know what's in their mind. But you didn't want to send Nature Boy down the river. You didn't want to send him down the river. You just wanted him to leave you alone. But you didn't want him to pay for nothing that he did. You didn't want him to do that. Because according to your paperwork, you only wanted him to leave you alone. So you're going to get on social media and do what? Because as the judge said, that's hearsay. Oh, we know how she doing, but we ain't talking about what she doing now. We talking about what she didn't do. We talking about what she did not do. So being that the judge, if you saw the show, the judge knows her case. So everything that she's talking about, she did not put it in her affidavit. Okay? Let's not put stuff there that's not there. We know she's hurt then. But she's the one speaks upon the revenge porn on Twitter. She says that. She didn't report it. She said she been baked. She didn't report it. So I don't understand what you're saying, Rachel. I'm not getting it. I'm not. We know all that. She's doing much better. Got a new man. Okay, fine. Whoopie do.
Went through something, and we're not just sitting here faking. We're not sitting here faking, crying about it. This man literally wants to silence the devil, wants to silence the God in us. It won't. know what's going on in my life. I know the mission that I'm on. I know my purpose in life. I know what I have to do for myself. I know what you need. I know what you need because I went through it for you. I literally went through it for you. Literally. You sit here and you ask me questions about spirituality. Do you really want to know?
They all. It's not about me giving her a pass. I didn't say anything about her, Rachel. But guess what? They all was young in love. They all was young and in love. Maisha, his first baby mom, his first baby mother, she was underage. She was underage when Nature Boy was messing with her. She get a pass. Maisha was young in love. All of them young ladies he messed with, they all was young and in love. I only do commentary. That's all I do. I don't judge her. Her life is her life, how she lived it. But what I'm saying is, she didn't report none of this. No, she did not. She never came to Georgia to speak to no police. Then you have to like to see all of them make it, Rachel. Why stop at one? I would like to see all of them make it. I would love to see Aya make it and go back to her son. I would love to see Malaya make it and go back to her son. I would love to see Zoka make it and can try to be get her youth back. Oh, okay, people. See, but we in agreement with that. We are in agreement with that. But we're talking about the court case. Her name was brought up in the court case. So that's why we're talking about it. Okay, Rachel? We're talking about what the judge said. And we're talking about she only wanted Nature Boy to leave her alone. But the same exact thing, which I think is disgusting, Nature Boy did it to Velvet first. Maybe you didn't understand that because you didn't come in yet. But I'm saying is the same thing Nature Boy did to Nateri, he also did it to Velvet first. He put her out there first. I'm just saying that she never reported it. But she's saying how she wants to save these people, but she never reported it. That's all I'm saying. Okay? Because I didn't bring her name up. They did. So I'm just going back to show people that Nature Boy did it to her too. In this particular video, she's going to speak upon the revolt. The same thing he did to Nateri on Twitter, he did the same thing to Velvet. It was done to her too. He's a sicko. He's a sicko. And I'm just saying, I wish that she reported it. That's what I'm saying. Oh, okay, baby. We're going to finish with this commentary.
You really want to know? Do you really want to heal generational curses? Do you really want to work on yourself? If you don't, you'll keep tuning in. You'll keep tuning into the demons. You'll keep tuning in. You'll keep being misled. And you'll keep being confused. Remember, the devil is the only author of confusion. Everything that I say, everything that I am, everything that I bring to the table, everything that Nature Boy hid from you is the truth. The truth. Nothing that comes out of my mouth is a lie. Nothing that comes out of my mouth brings as a mother themselves should be here. The only reason why I'm giving my energy right now because of one person. One person who was misled. Y'all don't get it. People say, oh, that's your decision. You made that decision. Yeah, I made that decision unknowingly. Just like you made decisions in your life unknowingly. I was young. I didn't have no experience for real. I didn't have no knowledge for real. And you blame me? You blame me for making that decision and you call out my motherfucking flaws and you say, oh, you stupid because of this. I don't have room to grow. I don't have room to... You are a fucking hypocrite and you are a fucking demon. You went through a whole bunch of shit in your life. And you sit there and you make fun of me and you say that I'm stupid for making the decision that I made. You stupid for making the same decision that you make to this very day because you probably got the information that you needed to repent from your ways, but you ain't because you're weak. Because you're a demon. Period.
So there's a tape I missed.
You don't have nothing else to live for because you literally gave all your energy to negativity, which is the same thing that Nutureboy is doing, which is the same thing that he's trying to turn everybody else into who he reels in. Remember, he's only targeting the youth. He's not targeting people who literally sit there with information. He's not targeting older motherfuckers. He's not targeting the Nation of Islam. He's not targeting all of these spiritual influencers. He's targeting young children who don't have nothing, who don't know nothing, because he feel like he can have more control over their mind to put into what he wants to put into their mind. Then when he puts it in their mind, then he sit there and say, oh, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing about me. Don't do this about me. Don't do that about me. So that he can silence you, so that he can literally feel like he has control over you. Now, you know what these people go through in their lives? Do you know what these people in carbonation go through in their lives? They literally are in mental prison. They literally continually feeling motherfucking confused about life now. Literally. And they have no one to talk to. They have no one to turn to. And they don't know who to turn to. They can't trust nobody no more. They literally psychologically are fucked up. And you can sit there and tell somebody to go to therapy all day long. You can sit there and tell somebody to do this and do that, but that shit ain't gonna matter when it comes to spirituality. Are we talking about spirituality here? Is that psychologist talking to me about my spirituality? Can that psychologist give me answers towards my spirituality? Fuck no. Because that psychologist is not even on its spiritual path. It's not even doing the shit that entity needs to do to upgrade their consciousness. Literally. Those people are not happy. Those people are not being themselves. Period. Y'all not gonna tell me to be quiet. Y'all not gonna make me be quiet. Every chance I get. You thought I was done? I'm not done. By a long shot. You have yet to see the real fucking me. And if you hate me now, you're going to hate me for sure later. So you might as well block yourself. Period. Because one thing I'm not gonna do is sit here quiet and let everybody else who I had experiences with be silenced at the same time. You cannot silence God's people. You can't. I sit here and I can say that I'm a child of God because I have a direct connection with Supreme Source. Period. God knows everything. God sees everything. God is everything. So anything that I do in my life, you don't have to say shit about. Because I'm already doing what I gotta do. The only reason why you mad at me is because I'm doing what I gotta do in front of your fucking face, and you can't have enough balls to pick up your own motherfucking life and do what you need to do for yourself. Period. I am not gonna allow people to come into my inbox asking me what they think that they should do, just from being out of carbonation, and then feeling afraid to be open to talk about what they went through. I'm here to tell you. I'm literally here to tell you that you don't have to be afraid. You are protected by the Most High.
Nicole wants
If you are
something
a child
of my
nothing
IC.
can fuck with you. Everything will become a footstool for you. Period. You know, the people who go through it the worst, the people who go through have it the hardest, the people.
Nicole.
You know, people hate me more than they hate Nature Boy, and this nigga
Want
is the
some
motherfucker who is fucking
icy?
over everybody's life. Do you know that? Anybody who is hated the most, anybody who is motherfucking ostracizing, calling names and all this and all that, you don't think God is looking down upon this whole thing? You don't think that God is sitting right here on his live with us? You don't think that God understands all of our hearts and all of our intentions? You are stupid. You are stupid. I'm not stupid. Because even though I was in that situation, at least, I had enough spirit, God energy within inside of me, the God that's inside of me, to pick myself up and pray and ask for guidance. And I was guided out of there because of my mind, because of who I naturally am, because I already was born a child of God. Period. My entire name literally means child of God. You can't tell me. My name literally means
That's
graceful
why I
child of
told
God.
her.
You
She's
cannot
gonna rat
tell
me out.
that I am
She's gonna
demonic.
rat me out.
The only person who can sit here and call me demonic is the motherfucker who's demonic. You are demonic, and you pointing your finger back to yourself, and you need to face your shit and stop blaming it on other people, and stop being stupid, and stop being rude. You're being rude. You're being rude.
Nature Boy
And I
has
speak this
Twitter?
because I feel like
What?
anybody who speaks up for themselves on the behalf of carbonation and
Oh
all the shit that
God!
they
Now
went through,
here
they'll
y'all
go through
go.
what I'm going through. Because this is a war. This is a mental war. This is Nature Boy versus God. This nigga literally calls himself God and thinks that he is God. He is not God. He is not God. He likes to use all of his phrases. You can't box with God, and everything is recorded and all of this shit. You are a hypocrite. And just because you know you will get it the worst. God, those who know and still do wrong will perish in the fucking internal fucking hell. Period. Those who don't know and then do will be given mercy and be given grace. These people will be looked after. These people will be forgiven. Period. People's lives are literally destroyed by this nigga. Literally. I am not gonna sit by and be quiet. I want everybody to know, if anybody watches me right now who is in carbonation, speak up for your motherfucking self and don't be afraid of nothing. Just like you sat there and you proclaimed all of his kingdom, you proclaimed all of that shit, you proclaimed all of those demons, all of that negative shit. Get your ass up and proclaim God. Get your ass up and proclaim the blessings that you got in your life now that you walked away from carbonation. Get up and speak about that. Get up and tell humanity about the blessings that's in your life. Do you know what blessings are in my life right now from the Most High? Because I prayed, because I focused my energy on God, and it got me out of that situation. How could I not give thanks? How could I not show my gratitude in front of the face of humanity? I don't give a fuck what platform we on, what I'm streaming. I don't give a fuck. I'm always going to give glory. I'm always going to worship the Most High. Because that is the energy source that is in control. Today or tomorrow, that motherfucker could be like, I want all of this shit gone, and it'll be gone. Period. You are not even promised life tomorrow. If God needs to send you a message, it'll take you right out of this existence just so you can get the information and the experience that you need. How could you ever denounce that energy source? How could you ever sit there and have blasphemy, call blasphemy against it?
Nope, I got icy, baby.
Situation, know that it's wrong, and still not say nothing. That is not going to happen. Not on my terms. Not on my terms. Not on my terms. No. If this is too overwhelming for you, go into your little hole and keep perpetuating the negative shit that's in humanity. I came here for a specific purpose. At first, I didn't know what it was because all I felt that I wanted to do was live in nature. I felt like I wanted to restore the planet. I felt like I wanted to help humanity understand themselves more so that we'll stop causing extremities into our life. Needless did I know, not knowing that I had a bigger purpose than what I anticipated. And this shit feel like it's literally happening to me. I can't sit here and tell you that I know what's going to happen next. I can't sit here and tell you that, you know what I'm saying, whatever you're going through, you're going to be able to get over. But I can for sure, for a fact, be able to sit here and tell you how to get through that shit. Period. Because I'm going through it every fucking day. Every fucking day. People want to constantly talk about how they healing generational curses. You ain't healing shit. You ain't doing shit. And then you sit here and you make fun of me when I get online and speak my heart and speak what I gotta say. But you love when I'm silent. You love when I'm quiet. You love that shit. That's what the devil wants. I told that young lady, I said, listen, anytime you feel confused, anytime you feel doubt, anytime you feel any kind of way that is not high vibrational, that is a demon. That is the devil. Period. That's the devil. Period. And don't let the devil rule you. Speak yourself through that. Understand your own mind through that situation. If you need help, ask for help. Call out for help. Don't just sit by idle and let that confusion take over your mind, because the next thing you know,
So he's dropping
you probably
porn
gonna go back to
on
carbonation.
Twitter?
You probably gonna be in a situation where you feel totally disconnected. You don't have no friends. You don't have no network circle. You don't have no nothing. You can't even real energy into you and financial resources to take care of yourself and your children, because you done gave all of your fucking energy to a source that is demonic. Nature Boy doesn't have no part of me. Nature Boy didn't take no part of me. Nature Boy did not destroy me. I'm happy with everything that I know. Because if I didn't know none of that shit, I would still be going through it. I'm 24. 24, I sit before you at 24 with all of this wisdom on my head. If you feel like if I don't have wisdom or anything like that, you can get the fuck out of my life. You don't have to listen to me. You don't have to ask the questions. I don't force you to ask questions. I don't force you to enter my life. You yourself get on here doing all that hot shit. I didn't even invite you. I'm speaking to those who can hear me, because you have to realize, and everybody still should realize, that all of this shit took place on the internet. This whole ordeal took place on the internet. What does it look like us just being silenced and being quiet when this nigga still on social media fucking a whole sickly person? That shit don't look right. That shit ain't right. Y'all can't tell me that shit look right and that shit is right. And y'all sitting here just sitting idle, tapping your fingers, not saying shit, not doing shit. Like, what the fuck?
Neither did you.
Y'all got me fucked up if y'all think I'm about to just be quiet about this shit. I literally,
Neither
I don't know about
did
another
you.
woman out there, but I know about myself. I have a whole daughter by this nigga. I do it for her because she needs to know. People told me you shouldn't paint a picture of who her father is, or she needs to get to learn that herself. Did you know that when a woman has a child, or when a man has a child, it's their duty to guide their child? Do you know that? If I go in life and not telling her nothing, not saying nothing to her, not teaching her about shit, she gonna motherfucking go over there and go figure some shit out on her own and then get fucked up. I'm gonna tell my child everything she needs to know. Everything. I'm gonna tell her everything she needs to know about niggas like that, so she never get herself caught up. So when she eventually experience it, she'll know right from wrong. Period. I'm going to teach my child. Period. And I don't have to be like, oh, this what the fuck your daddy did. This nigga ain't shit. I want to simply acknowledge those characteristics and teach her about those characteristics, because she needs to know. She's a young woman who needs to know about niggas like that. Period. I laid down with him with a portraying of who I thought he was. See, that's what the fuck y'all don't realize either. Y'all don't realize that this nigga when you have a child, or when there's a child, right? And somebody say, oh, I'm this, I'm that, and the motherfucking child have rosy glasses on because they don't know nothing else, they don't have no experience, but they gonna believe what the fuck somebody's telling them. But then when they get themselves in that situation, if they the way they mind work, the only way to get them out of that situation if they mind actually work. That's the only way that they'll be able to get out of that shit. So, but due to the fact that my mind was able to work in that shit and I figured all of it out, and now I'm able to help you with some of the shit in your life. You feel what I'm saying? Nigga, I believe this nigga. I believed who he said he was. Because, see, when he got with me, he couldn't do to me. He couldn't treat me how he treat those women. Like, he treat all of us the same, no doubt, don't get me wrong, but there was a specific way he had to treat me. His nigga had, y'all think he love bombing Malia? His nigga had to, this nigga, bro, his nigga had to literally create a whole simulation to reel me in the way that he did. See, Malia, on the other hand, and I'm not talking down about her, I'm not talking bad about her. All condolences go to her family and her sisters because I pray for this girl every fucking day. But Malia has low self-esteem. I didn't have low self-esteem when I got with Nutureboy, so he had to play his cards a different way with me. He had to portray himself a different way with me. See, he could get with Malia, fuck her, then tell her, I love you, and then she feels stupid for it, and then he go fuck on another woman or add another woman in. You see what I'm saying? But that's his real demon right there. That's his real problem. He thought he had a problem out of me. No, you're gonna have a problem out of Malia because this bitch is suicidal. Let it be known.
What?
Like I said, all condolences go to her family because I know what they're going through. I understand what they're going through. I literally can go there in my mind. I was in it. I went through it. I was there. I understand. Don't get me twisted. Don't get me wrong. I get it. But that girl has serious issues mentally. I didn't have serious mental issues when I got with him. This nigga had to treat me a certain way. Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying? This nigga had to make me empress. He had to make me empress. Because if he didn't make me empress and then double back and try to do all of that shit, I would have never had a baby with him. This nigga had to trap me. This nigga had to get me pregnant. He don't want to get none of those women over there pregnant. You think he's sitting there trying to get them pregnant? This nigga had all intentions to take all of my energy and portray himself any kind of way that he could to make me believe who he was, and I did fall for it. I did. But once I started figuring that shit out and I started putting two and two together, I didn't want no parts in that shit. So it became a relationship with me and him, and being in a relationship with me and him, then it went from 2 fucking years, 2 literal fucking years of me trying to stand up for those other women. Trying to say, don't do that to them. This is the shit he's not going to tell you, though. This is the shit he's not going to put online, though. I would appreciate and thank everybody in the room who are sending me gifts right now, because that shit is, it puts the life back inside of me. Everything is energy. You see what I'm saying? That shit is energy. When I give out energy and y'all send me back energy, that shit is the equal exchange. And that shit is, that's the blessing in my life. Because my whole entire life, all I've been doing is giving energy. Giving energy. You see me give energy to Visa. You see me give energy to Nutureboy. You see me give energy to all of these motherfuckers. There was a whole bunch of motherfuckers that wasn't online who I gave energy to, who stepped on it, who misused it, abused it, then double back and tell me that I'm a negative person because they didn't get what they wanted out of me. You got me fucked up, all the way fucked up. And I'm not gonna sit here, like I said, and be quiet about none of this shit. Because just like he could say that there are black women out there who are against the black man and all of this extra shit, there are black men out there who are doing fuck shit. Guess what? Our whole reality is ran by a man. Do you think a woman has a say so? No. No. A woman has no say so. None. This is why the future will be female. This is why women are fighting for their rights. This is why women are doing all of this shit that they're doing. This is why women are taking over in society, because men have no balance for a woman. Period. There's only a few men out there who have balance for a woman. But do you think they're online talking about it? No, because their lives don't revolve around social media. They're in their lives, living their lives as they should. But there are people out here who are everyone online. Obviously, this is supposed to be something that we utilize to network and understand each other and get through to each other. There are people out here that's going through shit, real shit in life, that they never get to say online. Never get to say online. You want to know why the future is going to be female? Because the female is going to be able to restore the balance between masculine and feminine energy. When she does find that divine masculinity, you think she's going to take that away from him? You think she gonna be like, oh, well, I gave her? Now, there are some women out there, but God ain't gonna let that persist because this ain't the time around for that. This ain't the time around for, oh, somebody have more power than the other. No, this is the time for balance. This is the time for balance, and that is what we're going to see in our reality, period. But the only way we're going to be able to restore balance is through the divine feminine, period. Once she finds her divine masculine, she's going to give him all the praise. She's going to give him all the glory. She's going to give him everything he needs to uplift him into the man that he needs to be. Not who she wants him to be, but who he needs to be. The man of God, to face humanity with themselves so that we can change psychologically. We are not living in the same age and day no more. We are in 2021. We are moving into 2022. This is a whole new world. There are more vegans. There are more nomadic people. There are more perpetuated the same generational curse that you so quote unquote said that you wanted to change because you couldn't do the real work. Because you did so much fucking negative shit in your life that you felt bad to repent. You felt bad to repent from your ways because you gave that much of your energy to the devil.
All right, for a second, we'll turn this down. I'm reading the comments, and apparently Nutureboy has posted something on Twitter.
Yes.
One, I have no clue if it involved
Yes,
Velvet or Aya or Malia or Pisces or True. I have no clue. I don't know what brought this on. Maybe this is just something she needs to get off her chest. But right now, I have no clue. I'll have to look at it on Twitter, and it probably won't be anything I can post.
No, you can't post that. But I saw it.
So everybody who's attracted to carbonation are people who are young souls on this journey, who are the leaders of the new world, who are the leaders to show humanity like this is what we're supposed to be doing, but they get caught up with niggas like Nutureboy. It's called a false prophet. God warned us about people like this. This is not something new that we're going through. This is not an act. This is not nothing. This is a fucking literal play out.
All right, y'all. Have a blessed day. I got to stop it here and get back into work. Unfortunately, I just cannot keep going. But
well, I wanted her. Velvet's giving you anxiety. That's why I had my icy. But I didn't know if Nicole was gonna blow me up or not. So I had to blow myself up. But it was very good. It was very, very good. It was the cherry, one of them Italian cherry ones in the cup. Yes. Don't they both have mental problems? Yes, Marie, you are totally correct. Just what I wanted to this video is because if you saw the first video, there was a cop that were there was a cop. There was a judge who is on the case. I don't know if he's doing the case, but he was explaining the case. You may have to rewind it, catch on the replay. But what I'm saying is that the Terry case is not looking all of that because they're going to rip her to pieces. But what she can, thank you, Nicole. You so sweet. You're a sweetie Pete. A sweet Pete. When you want to be. You're terrible. But what I'm saying is that Velvet, the same thing that happened to Terry happened to Velvet. And then when people was up there bragging about Velvet is going to get him, they were like, oh, he got to go now. From there, he has to go to Ohio. The judge said no. The case that Velvet has on him is one step above a ticket, which means it holds no weight. The only thing Velvet said was, he's bothering me online. I want him to leave me alone. Velvet did. So people bragging and bragging and oh, she's gonna get him. She did nothing. She did not report nothing. She did not say that she was abused. She never, people kept calling it a domestic violence case. It was not a DV. It was, he's bothering me. I want to order protection so he can leave me alone. Hey, my Caroline, because she's sweeter than cherry pie. Right? So, I'm just trying to explain to y'all people who's bragging, they're going to shred her up and down. Yeah, but she could have had a better case if Velvet would have told her case, because the same thing happened to her. He violated her too. He violated her privacy too. He also put her on Twitter also. Somebody sent it to me and I didn't know what it was. I said, what the fuck? Oh, shit. So we have seen it. Which one made it? It would have made Nutureboy's case better by saying he does this. This is what he do. He did it. See, this is reported. So we would know that he now has a pattern. You understand? It would have proved that he has a pattern. But she never reported anything that was done to her. So telling us all of this, what's up, sis? Sis, come up. Sis, come up. Daughter of the sea, sis, I want you to come up. I want you to come up. If you can, I would love for you to come up. Right? Perhaps the prosecution will provide. How can they provide proof of Velvet's abuse? Because he said all the tapes and stuff they watch, but it's hearsay. It's hearsay. She would have had to put that on paper. Did you watch the judge that I just showed, or you just came in, Lisa? So far, there's nothing there so far but Nutureboy's word against Nutureboy's word. Hey, Redbone Goddess, what is up, boo? Redbone Goddess, I want you to come up too. I want you to come up. I put the link in. I want you, if you want to come up, and I want Daughters of the Sea, if you want to come up, I want you guys to come up. But so far, it's Nature Nut against Nutureboy. Right. So the ending, they brought up Velvet, right? Because they were thinking that right after he leaves, if he gets out of Georgia, that they was going to get him in Ohio, and he was like, no. They said the case that Velvet has on him, is one step up. All right, baby. It's one step up from a traffic ticket. Exactly, Marie. Exactly, Marie. So y'all was all so happy thinking no, that's not what happened. Him and Velvet case is technically finished. It's technically finished. So you can't be speaking up for the people. You're going to save the people. You're going to save humanity. And you're going to get Nature Nut, but you never reported nothing. What's up, boo?
Hello. Good evening, you guys.
You be hiding from me. You was one of the old timers.
Yeah.
She done found her new family now. Forgot all about us. But
No way. Yeah, I can't stay on here long, at all. So I just wanted to, come in, pop my head in, and of course, show love. But I think that, I mean, you know how I feel, right? Like I'm very clear about that. These people are out of control. I think that with Nateri especially, she's one that has always triggered me because she's definitely somebody, like I was always taught that devils come in beauty, in order for them to wield their confusion oftentimes, they come in the face and the package of very beautiful things physically. And we know that even with her patterns of behavior, so whether that was when she was with what's the dude name, Yada, for example, right? When she left that situation, when she left Yada, she left.
Well, I didn't mean to cut you off. That comment I made was not to you. That comment was made to Redbow. I wasn't talking about you. We go way back. I was talking about Red Goddess. So, remember the comment I said, "Oh, now you come up and you're a long time person. You know, found your whole new family."
Oh,
yeah. I wanted to know that comment was not made for you.
Gotcha.
Making that to Redbone Goddess.
Got you.
I'm sorry.
You, sister. Hey, Redbone.
Hey, y'all. How you doing?
Good. Can't complain. But I will say, all right, so real quickly, I was saying that, if you look at her patterns of like behavior, so I remember when she first popped up on the scene with Yada, when she had left that polygamous quote unquote situation, she left for the same reason that she left the Nature Boy, and the same reason she left Prince York. So when she was with Yada, he chose to not make her the main quote unquote girl, right? The young lady that he now has children with, or what have you, her. He was stuck with, he preferred her. So then she left. Then she popped up again, and going back and forth. Then she popped up again under the Prince York banner, right? With Prince York, and everybody knows how you by now know how the nigga give it up, how Prince York is, and how he gets around. We also know that he has, his main quote unquote wife, right? And Nateri had no problem. Had no problem dating him on the side, right? Not being out in public. She had sex with the man and him and his wife marital bed. This is the type of female we're talking about. And the only reason why she left is because she wasn't given that main role. In fact, he didn't even present her as being something that, he was interested in, right? Everything was kept and she was getting tired of that. Then when she came back to Nature Boy, right after Prince York, right? And he did that real nigga moment thing with her initially, right? And he was probing her about, well, why the hell did you leave again? Like, she said it as much. Oh, he's abusive, he used to put his hands on me and da-da-da-da. So you see this pattern of behavior with Nateri, and it is really a slap in the face. And this is why I get so triggered, y'all. Whenever, like when Nateri came out with those allegations and she was going from panel to panel and everyone was like making her think that she's the second thing coming from the Lord, or that, oh, thank God we prayed for this. And I mean, my goodness, was she in her ego, smiling ear to ear, grinning ear to ear. But people were not listening to what she said happened. She never said he raped her. She said we made love. That's very different. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
Not even a few hours before, right? She was talking about how she deserves to be queen and shaking her titties for the camera. And then when he put her on Front Street, like only a New York City kind of dude could do, and he was like, you are a dumb broad. Like, you really just killed yourself. Like, you really just, like, what are you doing? So then when she leaves, once again, her patterns of behavior, right? So now here we are. After everyone done massaged her ego, after everyone done made her seem like she did something great, right? With these allegations. I remember when I did my live, I said, nope, this ain't gonna work, y'all. She's not gonna see this through, right? She's not honorable. She's not, I got yelled at. People thought I was hating, as if there's nothing I could ever hate on when it comes to me and old girl. Two different lanes. But this is what happens. And then people want to be her bodyguard initially, trying to police people's voices. It doesn't work with me. Right? I'm just gonna. That's never been something that I'm going to respect from any of you hoes. And the reason why I say that is because here we are, and this is the biggest slap in the face to any woman who has gone through real trauma, that has experienced molestation or graping or things. This is such a slap in the face because not only it hasn't even been a full 3 months. You couldn't even rest your pum pum for 3 months. You couldn't even detox. You couldn't even allow your body to get rid of all the different male fluids that's swimming up in you before you ran into the arms of a cult member that's been here for 4 years. Ain't nothing different about Solar. He is who the fuck he is. He does have no courage, right? There's no respect that I could ever give this dude because as much as now he want to say that Nature Boy killed his daughter, you have blood on your hands too because you stood right there and allowed it to happen. And that's why Zoka hates him because a female, a woman will never, if a woman cannot respect the man that she's laying down with every night, you begin to hate them. And that's exactly how Zoka felt. So him getting on these things now, proclaiming to be Zeus, God, Shaman King, healer, all these freaking words that he has not earned the right to take. He has done no kind of work. He has not proven any goddamn thing other than the fact that he's a coward. That's it, and that's all. And shame on anybody who's going to sit here and watch this foolishness and talk about love. What's wrong with y'all?
Love wins.
What's wrong with y'all? And anybody who believes that deserved to continue getting milked. Because while your dumb ass is going to work and while your dumb ass is donating and giving your hard-earned money to 2 adults who could work themselves, but you choose to donate because you think that this is what love looks like, you a goddamn fool. And I hope they take you for everything you got. Shame on each and every one of y'all. Hold her ass accountable. She got somebody locked up on these fucking retard, excuse my language, these crazy ass allegations. And the hoe ran right into the arms of an ex-member, right? That stood in her face and said that he don't respect her and that she's a whore. This is the caliber person we're talking about. And this is the thanks that she's given each and every one of y'all that donated, that tried to be her bodyguard, that tried to act like she was the second coming of the Lord. You know what she said? And I don't care. It's my life. That's the thing she gave y'all fools. I hope she gives y'all everything y'all got. Because y'all, it's absolutely embarrassing.
Sad.
Tell us how you really feel.
All day. All day.
How you really feel, sister.
Ridiculous.
And how do you feel about this, Redbone? I have mixed feelings.
I mean, I feel sad because both of them, they shouldn't even be together. They should be trying to heal themselves, but they study trying to be the light and be the torch to carry the torch to the next level, and they're not even strong enough to even lead themselves to the bathroom. Like it's confusing.
I just think, I'm just glad he's in jail. I'm glad he's in jail.
Yes.
I'm glad. I don't care how he got there. Hey, he needed to be stopped, even if it was just for a little bit. But
that's right.
She really, like she said, her sheet is like, it's just not so reliable. But at the end of the day, every time she did return, that's because Nature Boy had Solar. Geese her up so he can embarrass and humiliate her.
Yep.
He even sat up and made her do confessions, called her a hoe, and how much did she make when she was out in Georgia? I mean, he did everything possible. It ain't but so much that he was going to do. Now, far as that night, even though she said they made love, but at the end of the day, Nature Boy still set herself up for that. Number one,
absolutely,
She was already gone. Why ain't let her leave?
Absolutely.
See, so that's where the manipulation case coming at. Because even though she said they made love, but she can easily say she's manipulated into that because she was gone. You the one sat up there and told your minions to go downstairs to the car and go get her because he knew for a fact that he was going to tape her and put her on Twitter. So I think that if he never violated and had her, I don't know if y'all seen it, but had her spread eagle on that
video. I haven't found it.
You're not going to find it. It's gone.
Oh, okay.
If you didn't catch it when it first came out, you're not going to catch it because the police, they took it off Twitter and police have all that evidence.
Oh, okay.
So if somebody was nice enough to tape it, then ain't nothing you want to see. Okay. But my thing is he did the same thing to Velvet. He sat up there, made her do these things to him, and then the minute she left, he threw it on Twitter. So, I mean, they all screwed up. I mean, it's really hard to say because they all they all need to pay for something, but then you get hit with but there was all abused, there was all manipulated. At this point, they done so much. I don't even care if they was in a cult. I don't care if they was abused. I don't care if they manipulated. You still took part in doing, but then again, why should I care at the same point? Because they was doing it to each other. He said, slap that one. I mean, they wasn't hurting nobody but themselves. You know, just one slap. It's just that people got like me. I'm not emotionally invested. I really don't care. Once I turn this off, I turn it off. I don't care anymore. It's done. I just do commentary. But all the things that they were doing to each other.
Free will.
Right. Thank you. I believe it was free will, and they was doing it to each other. They wasn't outside slapping people. It was just a bunch of people that was terrorizing each other, even though he was in command.
Like Hunger Games.
Also, remember y'all, right? That as we're listening to somebody has sent me the clip of Solar talking about how, you know, in due time he'll explain what happened, right, to his child or whatever. Now, even that, now again, I'm looking at this from a character standpoint because again, here we are. We have this young man, right, in his super ego, still telling people that he's a shaman king, that he's a healer, and that he possessed the spirit of a homo Greek god called Zeus. So he's using a lot of these words that he has absolutely no clue what the fuck excuse my language, what he's talking about and what he's summoning, but that's neither here and there, right? So we still have this dude, and if you listen to what he's saying, he keeps saying that he knew that he was the real king of the cult. He should have been the one that was in charge, that he feels like he was the one who's nothing but pure love, right? So he is speaking with the same program, right? For years, there's nothing different about him. And so
nothing but the body.
How can anybody clap that shit up? This is a man at the end of the day that stood by and allowed his child to be murdered by another dude, that allowed his wife, quote unquote, right, to have sex and do whatever under the. You cannot sit here and tell me. So now all of a sudden your mouth works, right? When old boy is now all of a sudden your mouth works, but not even that. You then gonna have the audacity to play in people's face and say it's not the time yet. So when I get my MacBook, when I get my new laptop, that's about $5,000 because my other one was taken by the police and that was $4,000. So I just got to upgrade for $5,000. And once my laptop comes in the mail and I got something for y'all. Don't worry. Me and my wife, we're gonna be putting out high quality videos. I'm gonna tell y'all what happened to my child, but now is not the time because of course you're gonna have to pay. So basically what he's saying is I will tell you what happened to my baby and how she was murdered while I was right there, right? And I was complicit. Okay? and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell y'all, but y'all gonna have to pay for it. You tell
But
me.
check it out.
You tell me.
Yeah, check it out.
Individual
He
was that?
made a statement about he was Prince's godfather, and now he's over Nature Boy child.
Yes.
Man,
It's nothing different. It's
I'm
nothing
like, this is some demon shit.
different.
Like people look at the cute face, look at the spirit behind it.
Yep. And he gonna
Come
keep
on, now, y'all.
That's
I
right.
mean, number one, they all telling the wrong people. That should be on paper
That's correct.
to the popo.
Right.
All of them,
Mhm.
all like even when it came down to Velvet's, I just showed it again. That should have been on paper
That's right.
to they tell. I mean, we like to hear the story, but as you heard what the judge says, that goes by that is hearsay.
Hearsay.
It's hearsay.
Yeah.
You know, so everybody was like voting for Velvet, and
Yep.
yes. After that, he's gonna go to do time in Ohio. But come to find out, she said nothing.
He said nothing.
All she said was, "He's bothering me on social media. He's bullying, and I want him to leave me alone." But
Yep.
at that point, and now, so he did nothing because who can do anything in it? I mean, who could do anything in carbonation? So all the men are ussies.
Right.
All of them sat by and watched their woman get abused.
Yep.
The only person they wanted, like I explained earlier, they wanted Sonny's baby first. He tried to make that girl miscarriage.
Who's Sonny?
Pisces' baby mother.
Oh, right. Okay.
They was trying to get her to miscarry because they wanted to sacrifice that baby. But just the way it went, she didn't miscarry. That's why they blew up on her, and that's why they surrounded her and they pressured her to jump. Because they thought they was going to use her baby.
Right.
Now, what's her name? Sheba and Serenity baby was safe because they didn't know if Nature Boy was the father or not. Joy is the only one who was immune to it because they knew that was Musa baby and they didn't sacrifice. But you notice she got out of Dodge though. But
and they couldn't do that with her. Tori's Musa's big child. Her energy has always been quite solid. So you know who to mess with, so to speak.
Yeah, but they still jumped her though.
You know what I'm saying?
But at the end of the day, they still jumped her. But the thing is they wanted to sacrifice Sonny's baby first. That's why they made her go way up to that high thing and wanted her to jump. They wanted her to go into labor early. That she knew to get out of Dodge. Even so, so people could say, well, Solar did nothing. Pisces did nothing neither. But Sonny knew she was carrying that baby the same way Zoka knew she was carrying that baby. Zoka wanted to sacrifice that kid. She was in it. She's the one who was doing the drinking. She's the one that
she made it. By that time, she's
the one, right? She's the one doing the smoking.
Yeah,
she was the one who was like, I never connected to Solar. I didn't want him and all this other stuff while she was pregnant. She's the one say, yeah, and so what? I used to go up there in my robe and I used to have XEX with him. So we can't blame Solar. He only could do but so much because they're gonna jump him and we might find him missing too. You know, but Sonny was in the same exact position. She chose her baby and got out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Zoka chose not to. Because every last man there are ussies.
Yeah.
Every last one was nobody able to protect nobody. I mean, look at all the things that he said Musa said to Joy to protect this damn man. And she even risked herself and came back. And we was getting on her. But number one, she knew she needed her papers. the papers from that man. Remember when he left her ass down there? What's that damn country? He not Belize, Panama, wherever they was at when they crashed the daycare. They left her ass there stranded. Yo, Lucy ain't worth two craps. But either way. So yeah, people could say he was a punk, but wasn't all of them punks. They may have used, you know.
But the difference is that in my opinion, is that Solar is one that keeps on. He won't be quiet. He keeps on coming online, and he keeps telling people that he should be looked at as some type of example, and that he's this and that he's that. He keeps, so it's almost, he can't expect anything less than what he's getting, because it's not as if he's doing the work, or he's quote unquote healing, or
as he should.
He's in his super ego, talking about how he was the smartest one out of the. I have to drop down, you guys, and I'll be in and out. But I just wanted to say, hey, show some love, and yeah, I'll be in and out.
But you're right. Everything that he's getting, as he should.
Yeah.
He should not be getting a damn red carpet. Sorry. Yeah. Everything that he's getting, even though he's speaking out of pure guilt right now, and that baby is giving him, is tormenting the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Right. But none of y'all. See, this is the point that I'm saying.
I'm going to drop down, Sonia. I have to drop down. Okay, baby?
Right.
I'm going to be in and out.
All right.
Okay. Bye, guys.
All right, baby. Thank you so much. Now, none of them deserve the red carpet as soon as they get home. If you're not running straight to the police, and you ain't really, see, that's the only thing. We have a good pretenses, regardless of what material. At least she is the only one that said, F this ninja. Regardless of what she go through during court, it don't matter. He's been locked up for 3 months. We had to see that ninja face. And then some people got free. If nothing else happened, some people got free. Pisces was able to get free. Musa was able to get free, and he was finally able to free himself. None of that would have took place without Nutureboy. None of that. Even stinking True, who lost his damn, at least he got a chance to see his family. At least they had 3 months of they can sleep when they want to sleep. They can get up when they want to get up. It's like they're on vacation from Nutureboy. They needed a vacation. She was the only one that was able to do it. She the only one that got pissed enough. And then her history is shaky. But at the end of the day, even a woman who walks the street, that don't take away if she gets baked. And a lot of them prostitutes, they go right back into doing what they do too. It doesn't take away. But the only thing that goes against each other, even though she said we made love, but at the other hand, she was gone. She was gone. He sent the squad to tell her to come back upstairs. And she knew she had to go, or they was going to jump her. So we just commentaries, and we just going to report on the show. But like I said, it's very, like I said, I have a lot of mixed feelings on this, because at the end of the day, I'm glad she got his ass. I'm glad. Is she going to win? I don't know. But believe me, B, I am also relieved not to see his face. Aren't you, Redbone? Redbone. She'll be back in. Come on back to reality.
Look, I done hit the mute button. They didn't know it. And just talking to you.
But aren't you relieved not to see this man? Yo, I got so relieved of not seeing the constant slap this one, slap that one. I was relieved not to see that. He's a freaking animal. I was kind of relieved that it's like a woosah. All that violence and brainwashing. And I mean, that goes back to how he that go back. Maisha had nothing to do with the cult, but that goes back
Mhm.
to her and just how violent this freaking violent and crazy this man is.
Mhm.
Now
Because
everybody has tried it, but at the end, for some reason, at the end, nobody falls through.
mhm.
Aisha didn't
I think
fall through. Velvet didn't fall through.
Velvet.
And not
Mhm.
and Naturi ain't gonna fall through neither.
Mhm.
But like I
I
said,
just I
what if
hope she don't fall. You know what I'm saying? Because remember what Nature Boy told um Solar to do. Is he playing his role or is it real?
thank God I'm a commentator, so I really don't care. But
Mhm.
if he is, that be on Naturi. That you is a glutton for
Mhm.
punishment. It come with the
Yep.
package. Cause I ain't never loved nobody that much, ever, ever.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to bring down no man. I ain't trying to go through all of that.
Nope.
If I got to make a man and put true face there, I mean, soul off face there, I will make one before I would have had to
Thank you.
go through the constant abuse. And if you look, the thing people forget that day when he went off on her, if you look at her face, she was one scared chick.
Mhm.
To the point, she first thing she did was get straight on her knees.
Wow.
Hey, Bobby, that bonfire is the key to what happened to Baby Love 2 years ago. Seven needs to speak on what
Yeah.
part she played. Yeah, they was having bonfires, and I showed that. They had bonfires way back. They was tempting to do a lot of different black magics. But he
Mhm.
wanted Nature Boy wanted all the different entities. That was the point of June 7th. That is
Mhm.
the day of the Pentecostal. That's the day where he was supposed to get all of the different entities and try to make it into one.
What?
He was trying to be the end all be all. I mean, the man really wanted to levitate. He really thought that he was going to levitate, put his
Mhm.
legs down, and go up in the air and some shit. He
Mm-mm.
was really trying to
He was
every
losing it.
right every he done yeah he was losing it because all of entities is in him. So
Mhm.
he lost touch with reality. He lost
But you
touch
know
with
what?
reality.
If we go back to like maybe 2 weeks before they locked him up, he was prophesizing his own thing. You know what I mean? Because he seen that. He was talking about jail, talking about people after him, all kinds of stuff.
That's why he kept saying I'm 70%. He thought that
That's
by
right.
that time he was going to gather everybody, whoever that have something
Mm-hmm.
to do with him.
Mm-hmm.
This man really thought that he wanted to. He doesn't understand. They belong to different religions and different places for
That's
different
right.
reasons. For different reasons, like the Africans
That's
do it
right.
for one reason. The
The
definitely he
Jews.
was brutally. Not really the Jews. The Catholics do it for this reason, or this
Mm-hmm.
African people. But everything. But first of all, they all deal too much. People don't understand when you speak upon Zeus and all these different stories. Them are all myths. These people don't really exist. I hate to tell them
Mm-hmm.
that. People study it and they talk about like these people
Mm-hmm.
really exist. They don't exist.
Mm-hmm.
These are myths. These are mythologies. This Greek mythology, which means none of these people existed in real life. These are all
Right.
made up stories. But people take it literally and think these people really have powers and really have lightning bolt. They ain't got no damn light. Man, the Zeus don't
They
exist,
make a
damn it.
story for an example.
It's Greek mythology. It doesn't exist. But to them, but to a lot of people, the stories in their mind is true. But I'm like, it ain't true, right? Right? But he wanted to be whatever you can name, he wanted to be it and have control of the energy and power. He really thought that when he opened his hands up, he thought electricity was going to spark out of it. He thought it was going to be levitating. I am your master. Yes. That's what he thought. He thought, if you seen The Last Dragon before? Movie. He literally thought that he was going to take his hands and it was going to be like blue and red and he's going to have the light, the glow, baby, the glow. He thought that he was going to get the glow. Yeah, he thought he was going to be God. He really thought he was going to be God himself, but I'm not going to say God. He thought it was going to be Lucifer himself. He thought because that's the entities that he was doing. So if you was going to be God yourself, you don't have to go through all of that. That's why God is $1 million business. You ain't have to go through all that slap this, do that. If you're preaching a good word, people gonna come in there and they're gonna give you all their money. But he wanted that power. That's what he thought. And a lot of these things do not exist. Because if they did exist, then people wouldn't be all. A lot of these people is fucked up. They would have a better life now, wouldn't they? The people who practice it.
Yep.
But
they'll be on weeks ahead of us.
And then, even if she said we made love, that's not to say that she was not manipulated to think that. And it doesn't take away. She still said the word no, 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 no. She said, then we made love. Because he could have called the love afterwards. Maybe they have always called it love. But even if they made love, she never gave permission to make the love.
But even if you remember having sex and in the middle of it, she said no, she don't want to do it. He gotta stop.
Right.
But that's
number one, she did the interview too fast.
Yep.
Did the interview too fast. Number one. She didn't have like legal counsel. You can't put them because it's recorded. If Nature Boy didn't teach you anything, she taught you everything is recorded. At that point, she should have. And then, far as she goes back to Solar, she got plenty of evidence why she will go back to Solar. She has plenty of evidence. She said she loved that man.
And look, they probably both of them probably set him up.
But they didn't. Technically, you don't have to set Nature Boy up. All you gotta do is tell the truth.
No, I'm saying with her trying to get Solar from Nature Boy. You feel me? Because she tried 3 different times.
There's a lot of fast women out there, but that doesn't mean that you cannot say the word no.
That's
like I
right.
said, you got street walkers all the time who does it for their business. That's their livelihood. But that doesn't give nobody the right to take it from them, because they figure, well, she's a prostitute, or she's a hoe. Well, she got to give me some too. They got the right to say no. Your
Mm-hmm.
background, your back. Like I said, I just really wish she would have had legal counsel. Legal counsel. I really wish she would not have did that interview. I mean, like far as her, and then they come from a person who put everything on social media. That's all they used to. That's how they've been trained. They keep everything on because people pay to see the story. It's to the point that people are watching whatever they see on YouTube because it all depends on what you
Mm-hmm.
watch. They're watching that more than regular TV.
Mm-hmm.
They're watching that more than regular TV, and people are staying tuned. You know, like now, far as he
Mm-hmm.
stay in jail or not, that man have done so much. He have done so much. He belongs there. I don't care how he got there. That's just how my opinion is. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. I don't care how he got there. It ain't like he ain't never lied before. Everything that man say is a damn lie. And
Yep.
and he done hurt a lot of
That's
people.
true.
And just because she figured out how to get his ass, yeah, no TV for you no more. I know no means no, but she's just too eager to get into that. Now that part is that take if you take away nature nut, exactly, exactly. And number two, you will have to discuss why she wanted to be queen. So it's not like she didn't get what she wanted. If you watch it closely, she was getting it, but she still kept proclaiming her love for Solar. That's why
Mm-hmm.
she didn't get it, because she was getting it. She was getting it. In her mind, if you're going to take me from the man I love and I have to be stuck with you, you damn, I needs to be queen. But she couldn't even handle being a queen because she still kept professing her love for Solar. Even when he was talking to Solar, he's like, yeah, oh my God, if I had me a woman Solar. And then the first thing she said is, I'm a woman Solar.
Mm-hmm.
She was in there, even though we
Yeah,
already know
yeah.
Nature Boy wasn't going to pick anybody. That's just to get you to watch the show. That was to keep you to keep watching the show. But at the end of the day, it wasn't like she didn't get what she wanted. She couldn't have got what she wanted because at that point in time, she still kept professing her love. So then he put, and at this point, that man got pissed off. Because you're like, damn, I'm telling this chick she could be the queen. Could be me and her. And she's still talking about Solar. She couldn't stop.
Yep.
She couldn't
You,
stop. Hey, Gary.
you,
She
you
couldn't
try to say,
stop.
how dumb are you? Your children will be my servant. Like, what?
I showed the video yesterday when he was getting on Solar. I don't give a F if you on the phone. If you were to see that boy's face when he said that, ain't but so much people gonna be able to take. Ain't but so much.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't but so freaking much somebody's gonna be able to like now. Far as we may not like that he's talking now, but guess what?
Yeah.
He's talking now.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking, and guess what? We're commentating on it, right? We're watching it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we already know nature nuts killed. Yes, I do too. And people like he didn't protect the baby. First of all, we don't know what happened. We
That's
don't
true.
know what happened. We don't even know if he was there, even there at that moment to protect the baby. And what could he have done? Fought everybody? Because once Nature Boy said, get him, They all getting them. What I'm like, at
They
some point,
jumping.
right? What was him to do? Then at that point, they all have to eat. None of them are cooking their own food. You don't know they would have put something in his food, and he just would. Oh, the same way, Mama Dia. All of a sudden, that could have been him too. Sometimes you gotta eat
Mm-hmm.
that. He had to eat what happened to his daughter, maybe to save his own life.
That's
He had to.
true.
He had to eat that. What was he gonna do? He would have come up the same way they would like. So they do that. Them different mixes and stuff, right?
Yeah.
They would have said, "Here, so a special plate just for you," and he probably
Mm-hmm.
a special plate just for you. Next thing you know, so shit, motherfuckers was fight. They was fighting for their lives there. So that's why I said it was a blessing that Nateri did that. So people, whoever wanted to escape, it was your chance to escape. Now, it's to say that he's going to stay in jail. No, people who want to stay, hey, you stay. But for the people who wanted to go, this is your time for real. You ain't got to sneak out the door. You ain't got to do this. You ain't got jet. You understand? Hey, shake the light, boom, 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 baby. So we gotta remember that. Look at the outcome. Now
Mm-hmm.
Musa back with his family, Pisces back with his family, whoever
Yeah.
else is caping for him, and then baby Ja don't get to see the abuse no more for now.
Mm-hmm.
He don't get to see the abuse. He gets to be a child for now. He ain't got to wait for
Yeah.
that man to come in and got to bend and all that stuff. That child get to be, even for 3 months, he got a chance to be a child for 3 months. Now, I know for a fact,
Mm-hmm.
if anybody, I think he gonna, I think they're going to let his ass walk tomorrow unless they hit him with a super high bail.
Mm.
Unless they
Need some
sit him
money.
with, because people got to remember, it's not the cult leader. They can't arrest you for being a cult leader, but they can get you for the things you did being a cult leader. And like I said, Velvet would have helped the shit out of her case
Mm-hmm.
because he did the same exact thing to her. When them weirdos won't leave and how the remaining staying in that house, I thought they were supposed to be out that house. They was supposed to be at the house, but what happened was Aya wrote a letter to the court stating some crap. So now they have to go to court. They have to go to court. They have to go to court. And then, even though Nature Boy likes to he likes to pick up and run, but this is gonna be a hard. Where Boss Lady at? Boss Lady didn't come in here. She probably think you Boss Lady. That's not Boss Lady. Chick of the light. This gonna be a case to see if she decides to stick it out, because if she take this sucker to trial, I hope she do. Now I want to. They should get him for dancing with that baby. Wow. Again, that has to be turned in, and then the same rule applies. Velvet ass go down too, because instead of Velvet telling him to stop dancing with her baby, she told him to change his pants. She told him to change his pants. So that makes her just as guilty. But I want to go back over what this man had to say. Then I'm out of here. You can stay right here, sweetie.
You might be dealing with this case for maybe about 10 years. Until Zeus finally decided to get with the gods and punish True, which would be Atlas, the Titan, the military commander of the Titans, which would be True. Atlas was punished to hold up space and time forever. And so that's the picture of Atlas holding up the world. That's
Ain't no damn Atlas.
And then there's also
Ain't no Poseidon.
Kronos himself,
Ain't no
where Zeus
Neptune.
actually punished him by banishing him to Tartarus, which is like below hell, and to be bounded there forever. And if I ever told the truth, if I ever used my lightning bolt of truth, of what actually happened, from my perspective, you could say, but of what actually happened for real, the things that we don't talk about, all of the hidden secret things that we don't speak on, that's a lightning bolt that would put him below jail, below the jail in hell. He'd go below that. If someone else was in my position, they wouldn't even be on live. They would have probably put a hit out on him. But I'm love. I can't do that. I have to seek justice, and I have to let nature take its course. And I'm conflicted with, do I tell the truth? Do I use a lightning bolt? Now, Zeus's number one regret was that, well, not number one regret, one of his biggest regrets, though, was that maybe he punished the Titans a little too hard. But you know what? After that, Zeus was never really known to, like, punish anybody like that. Zeus only punished Kronos like that. Zeus only punished the Titans like that. And he locked them away forever. And the gods ruled with humanity, and humanity started to be raised, and then you have the rest of mythology coming from that. And yes, this is Greek mythology. You can say it's a white man mythology, but it's funny how the story's playing out. Very funny how the story's playing out. So when I use a lightning bolt, hey, what's good, Fi? When I use a lightning bolt, and when I say I have this lightning bolt, and when I send this lightning bolt, or when I say I'm Zeus, or when I talk about Kronos, now you know. Now you understand why I'm saying this. It's just funny how this played out like this. You guys want me to speak on the baby? This is a very, this is the one lightning bolt more than anything. There's other things that, you know, I don't even have to say or do because it's already on the way. There's nothing I have to do or say about this. But one thing that I know is that that man owes me a daughter. He owes me one daughter. I'll tell y'all some cool, funny stuff. Why not? Fuck it. You guys can know some cool shit because I'm not going to use the lightning bolt yet, so I'll give you all the static charge around it. Princess, his daughter, is my goddaughter. I am Princess's godfather. If anything happens to Chief, I have to take care of her. Do we want to go that deep? Do we really want to go there?
Yeah.
These are warning shots. This is the static charge. This is Zeus cultivating this bolt. If you keep playing with me, I will relentlessly, without regret, banish you to Tartarus. Kronos. You owe me one daughter. That little girl, me and her have such a special bond, and you know it. When she's with me, she just learns everything. Funny enough, her, Princess, and Janae actually have the same exact chart. They got the same chart. It's like the same person. Anything that
Princess will be, I didn't catch on the first time. What I caught on now, he's talking about baby Ellie.
Yes.
Because he's talking about baby Ellie. And he says he's the godfather and blah, blah, blah. But okay.
that little girl needs is she got it. I'm gonna let myself just be a millionaire, beyond abundant to every extent that I can, as fast as possible, so I can make sure that that little girl receives all of the love that was for my daughter and that I have for you. Everything that you hold dear, I probably hold it a little more dear. Especially the people that you call your family. Especially the people that you manipulate, that you call your family, that you beat, that you hurt, that you draw blood from. Those people, that family that you so long for, I love them more than you know. When you weren't there, they ready to beat Zoka's ass. Who stepped in and was like, guys, Chief not here. We gotta be Chief here. What would Chief do in the situation? We handle it like this. Boom, 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 boom. Because I know how to keep the knowledge. And from rage and aggression, ready to beat Zoka, smack the demons out of her, right? Just start smacking her, beating her until she's no longer in her demons. Instead of doing that, I said, let's talk about it. And how about y'all look at yourselves too?
Now, one thing I did do, I went back on his old videos, right, to see how he talks. And you know what, Red? He basically talks the same thing. And what I think was, people were like, he's trying to be like Nutureboy. I think that he was the only one that he had to fight to say I'm dope. He had to fight. I think he was fighting the brain. He wasn't fighting the knowledge, but he was fighting the brainwashing. I think that's what we get confused, thinking that he wants to be Nutureboy and why he's talking like that. Because when you have somebody constantly saying, I'm your God, you understand? When you constantly have anybody say, it's about me, that's like somebody calling you ugly every single day. So now, no, I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful. That's the only thing people hear, but they don't hear he tried to make that, he tried to crush everything in all of them. He was even when, did you see the one when that stinking Zoka was going in on him, and he was like, "Why you got to compare me to Chief? I am my own man. If you got to compare me to him, then he was like, I think I'm dope, So he had to keep telling himself, he had to keep giving himself self affirmation that, I am somebody. I'm not just one of his flunkies. And if he did not do that, then he'd have been full brainwashed. And Nutureboy knew he couldn't get it. Because every video that he watched, he's sticking up for himself. Just by affirming, I am beautiful, I am dope, I am lovable. Somebody could love me just for me.
I think he was one of the ones that he did not brainwash.
You ain't brainwashing no Gemini like that. And I keep trying to tell you, it ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen with no Gem. It's like them Kardashians thought they had Kanye West. I said, they ain't gonna happen with that damn Gem. But you could try.
But the crazy thing is, they were saying why he didn't leave and why he didn't do this. What if he was the police and he had to get all that records of everything? That's why he ain't never leave.
I mean, why he ain't sneak out like everybody else? Because they can't. They all just can't leave.
That's right.
And that would be the question, Queen. You're right. You're right. That would be the question. If you had to go through that all the time, why didn't you create? I think he answered it before. I don't know. That we don't know, but I think he answered it. But I don't know. People might not like that he's talking now, but I do. Because he could have just not said He could have just not said nothing. We got more out of him than what anybody who left.
That's right.
We got more out of him. He said he beat Zoka to what? He gonna say on here. He gonna say when he got Zoka, he beat everyone to not a concoction, a seizure, some shit. I was like, God. Oh,
Sleep.
I was like, remember he threw the other girl through the wall. So if they wanted to turn a blind eye to this, well, the ones who needed to go. The ones who want to stay, then you go right ahead and stay. But I would tell you one thing for blind mice. The 5 blind mice, don't think because he get out of jail, he's going to be a better man. A narcissistic person don't change. The minute he get there, y'all better get right back on your knees. Get his stuff for his feet. Go do his feet, his back, his hair. Y'all gonna have to. Y'all know what to do. Y'all know what to do. Get right back to seeing he is not going to appreciate nothing you guys did for him because a narcissistic person does not know how to do it. He knows what y'all supposed to do, and it's going to be good for a day or two. It's going to be a lot of stuff they're not going to let us see on TV no more. It's not going to happen. They're going to be showing love and praise. That's all we're going to be. That's all we're going to be seeing if he gets out. But let me finish because this is not that long. I got to get up in the morning. I ain't even know the time tick like that.
How did we end that? Within minutes, hugging, loving, everybody dispersed. After I cleared the air, and they're all just gonna go about their day. I said, "Hey man, everybody come back here. If y'all don't hug Zoka, if y'all don't hug each other and love on each other right now," people were crying, filled with love. That's how I handle situations. I don't see Chief handling situations like that. It gets down to the wire of where we're calling this guerrilla pimping as a lifestyle that we subscribe to from a spiritual guru. I would really like to know where this makes sense. I never agreed to that. And I will admit to this truth, guys. I will tell on myself a little bit right here. I got to tell on myself a little bit. Is that, and I apologize for every time that I ever put my hands on Zoka. Anytime that I was ever rough with her, moving her around or anything, there's moments that we've had, in a relationship to where I'm thinking violence is going to be an easy fix because I see Chief doing it all day. And, I have to apologize for that. I did not know myself. I was raised watching my mother get beat. I was raised fighting men, beating men off of my mother. I was raised doing that. You know what I'm saying? And now, I go to this place and I'm being taught that this is actually what you're supposed to do. And I'm watching this happen on a regular. Yeah, I definitely fell victim to that influence. And I came in I don't hold myself too badly. I don't feel too bad because I came in as a student. I came in as a disciple. I came in to learn. I came in to grow. I came in to build. I came in to evolve. Definitely came in to make his life better. I like what you're doing. I believe in what you're doing. You listen to what this guy's saying. That's it. That knowledge, that's it. And the knowledge is definitely true. The problem is that I'm the only one using it. I'm the only one keeping it. I'm struggling with my own self on releasing this energy that can be cultivated and equivalated to Zeus's lightning bolt. No, I'm not a victim. I signed up to be there, and I was there for a while, and I have to tell you the truth. It is what it is. Your boy had no confidence in himself. I did not have confidence in myself. I was very alone. I was very depressed when I went there. I was looking for a real family. I was looking for camaraderie. I was looking for brothers. I always wished for brothers. And when I had brothers, it's like, yo, my wishes are coming true. I always wished I had brothers, and I had brothers. I always wish I had a father figure that was always around, and then here we go, Chief, every day, always there. And he looks like my father, kind of, in certain senses, and acts like him in certain senses. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm getting a lot of this. I'm feeding a lot of my voids. I'm really, you know, what is the word? Validating myself through Chief. Very much validating myself through Chief. Very much validating myself through my brothers. And, you know, my brothers, I'm validated through my brothers by getting a pat on the head and the back from Chief. And I definitely got that because I'm a boss. Like, check my resume. Like, I put in work. Like, I'm a good fucking worker. I'm a good like employee. Like, I'm a good, because I give good service. I give from my heart. It doesn't matter what the job is. I somehow know how to make the most of it, get more out of it, add more to it, venture off into this and that. I keep make soul bonds with all of my clients. You know, I've always done this, from whether I was doing construction or to whether, you know, I was, you know, I did working as a barista. You know, I did all kind of different things. I just give good service, you know, from my heart. So yes, I was there for many years. But you have to understand, I have a Venus and Taurus. I have a Saturn trine moon. I have a Saturn trine Pluto. I have a Pluto trine moon. I'm somebody who will go I normally am. And so that nature and my loyal nature, like, I will let go of everything, you know, for what I believe in. And all of that energy was used for carbonation. That was just the wrong place to put that power. That was the wrong place to put that energy. And that's just all that was. I want you to know that I am kind of ready to talk about it already. It's just like, yo, this is it if I do this. You know what I mean? I could just tell y'all everything but the child and it would still have the same result, the same lightning bolt. So it's like I got two. You know what I'm saying? And then, I don't know, man. This shit's deep. This shit gets really deep spiritually. All I know is that he's answering for what he's done. He's paying for everything that he's done. You know what I'm saying? And when I really think about it, it fills me up with a lot of rage when I do think about my daughter, because of how it happened and how sinister this man really is. If only you guys really knew. If only you guys really knew. And everybody just wants to protect him. And some of the people there don't even know. I mean, a false prophet is somebody who doesn't live by the knowledge that they teach. And the Antichrist is somebody that separates you from the source that you are. He was both of those things. The knowledge that he spoke on, we all have, we're all connected to, and it's all very true. I'm thankful, baby.
Hi.
She's looking so beautiful today.
Thank you.
See the record? He threw all of those away in the house. He grabbed all of those in the house one day and got scared of them and threw them all away. If you guys know what that means, that's the evil eye. That's the very thing that makes you have to reflect and look at your own shit. You put out negative energy, all that energy has to come back to you. Funny story, he ran around the house and gathered all of those and threw them all away. This is so funny. It's like they don't even know their own shit. It's like they don't even know spiritual. Like, yo, it is what it is, man. It's Sheba and True and all those people, whoever else wants to talk about, yo, and Juju, all y'all niggas, bro, shut the fuck up. Number one, shut the fuck up, because y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then that's why you need to shut the fuck up, because you don't know what's really going on. And you about to find out. Best thing that happened to y'all is for him to be in jail. That's the easiest way for y'all to love him, because if he was right there with y'all, you know it'd be another story. Y'all be like, damn, I might want to leave tomorrow. It's different. Ain't no victim. Don't nobody feel bad for you. Ain't nobody wrongfully in prison. You're not wrongfully in jail. None of that, bro. Take responsibility for why you're where you're at, and motherfucker, be grateful for all the shit you getting away with. Be grateful for all the shit you getting away with. Without giving up my lightning bolts, bro, you beat women till they bleed. You beat women into seizures.
Ain't that something?
You take pride in knocking the air out of women. I've watched you pummel Efru behind the cameras, and everybody has to act like it's some Willy Wonka shit, so nobody knows what's really going on. Bro, this shit ain't cool, man. Hey, what up, cuz? What's good? What's good, Chet? Yeah, it's some crazy shit going on, Chet, bro, but you know, nigga, I gotta tell you the truth, man. Let me keep it real. Hey, that's my cousin, y'all. I got brainwashed, nigga. I fell into a cult and I got brainwashed. It happened, nigga. Yeah. And you know what? The knowledge was real and what we taught was real, but the lifestyle was the trap. The lifestyle was the trap, bro. And it wasn't like what we was teaching in the knowledge. Like, yo, I'm glad for all of that. You know what I'm saying? I tapped into myself and I realized everything for myself. Like, Chief Eligio ain't teach me nothing. You know, it was just really nice to live a different life. You know, to know I can live in the tropics, to know I can live in the jungle, to know what that's like. And it was cool to have somebody like a tour guide. He was like a jungle tour guide. That was cool. And that's actually more of his purpose than anything, is to actually set up a network for other people to thrive on. That's his purpose. Not to have this love and lust for power. He was supposed to use the power of love too. And he was supposed to create a network for people to build and grow on and connect on spiritually. What if he had said King Solar, King Shrew, King Musa, King Juju, King Jax, and this is Queen Zoka, the queen of the queens, Zoka, and here's the queen of the queens, Malia, and here the queen of the queens, Aya. What if we empowered each other, empowered ourselves? What if you played your role as a red rhythmic dragon, which is your galactic contract? And it's 13th moon astrology, if you guys don't know, but I can do yours later if you want. We'll find your galactic contract, see what your purpose in this life. Your purpose in this life was to be my student and to help boost me and to put me onto a platform. So in a way, you're actually doing your job, because my purpose and my contract is to teach the world unconditional love by being it and embodying it. And funny enough, the person who has the same contract as me, Janae, Lotus, she has the same contract. Yours was to help us. I told you this one day when you were giving me a haircut. I said, look, your sun and Mercury are my south node. You're my south node, Chief. Do you know what that means? And I read it out loud to him. It says, in the past life, I did a lot of things for him. I helped him in ways that he could never pay me back for. So in this life, he's supposed to come back and do the same thing for me. His process was, well, I've given you this knowledge, and that's the best thing that I could give you. So, yeah. No, bro. That's not how it was supposed to play out. You were supposed to exonerate your students while we exonerated you. There's a whole nother way to live, and that's how I'm living. There's too many chiefs, not enough Indians. Fuck that. That sounds like an insecure statement to me. Too many chiefs, not enough Indians sounds like an insecure statement to me. Because I want all my Indians to be kings. I want my whole army to be military generals, kings, bosses, and gods. Yeah, I want my whole race to be kings and God energy. I want all my niggas and all my black people and all my white people to embody king God energy. I'm different, bro. I'm the opposite of you. That's why Scorpio Leo. It sounds bad, but it's not. It's actually righteous because I'm turning it into love. It's called alchemy. I'm a wizard. You try to ignore my powers, and you try to ignore who I was and use me rather than let me know how valuable I really was so I could harness that and even be stronger and even be better for us all. But the man was lost, does not know himself, no ego, switching from ego to ego, from name to name to name. A lost soul. That's what you call a lost soul, my friend. And so that is the explanation of the Zeus and Kronos thing, so I don't want to hear about that anymore. I don't want to hear about Solar keeping the knowledge because Solar is the only one keeping the knowledge. Solar is struggling with keeping the knowledge so tight that I don't know if I should just release that boat or not. Janae, she's crazy. She's crazy. Crazy. It's dying on the inside every day. I worry about her because I know her. And I know how her mind works, and I know how easy it is to brainwash and manipulate her. That is literally her program, is that she's able to be easily manipulated and brainwashed. That's literally her program. That's why I protected her so heavily. And I always wanted to keep her with me. And I would always fight. I used to fight Chief to keep her. Only time I would argue with Chief was when he told me I wasn't God, and when I told him I was God, and when I had to keep the knowledge, and when I let him know I'm the main character of this movie. When I let them know all these things, every time I stood on it, which I still do, never stop. They'll tell you I've always been that way. You know, with Zoe, she knows me too. I protected her. I'm starting to realize. She used to tell me in the shadow. She said, "Hey, Solar, you know, I really like inside of me. I really feel like you're the real king. You're the real like king here, but because Chief is the king. Chief is Jesus. It's like maybe you're like the king of the underworld or something. I don't know." But she didn't know how to put it. All the women that wanted to be with me for some reason at one point spiritually, because of the love energy that I am. When I'm at my best, I'm tapping into I pervade a love frequency, and it heals everybody. Everybody in Carbonation knows that I am love. They know that I am love, and I just finally chose to identify as it once my baby, whose name was Love, died, and I had to do a tribute for her based off of the song Zoka made called Love. What we told y'all happened is a lie.
We know that. We know that already.
It ain't about no black brothers going against each other. This is like Zeus and Kronos, my nigga. This ain't no, this is like God and the devil, bro. This is like angels to demons, bro. This isn't black men against black men. This is spirit. This is spirit. Spiritual. As intelligent as those people are, as much knowledge as you have, as much knowledge as you can possess, that does not give you access to the love frequency. Knowledge doesn't give you access to the love frequency. That's something you have to do. That's something you have to be. These people are not that. True is not a love frequency. Go tap into channel True. And let me know how much love is there. Oh, love is objective. Love is a robot shit. No, it's not, bro. That's actually disconnecting you from source. You go and connect to a person, you go give them a hug and a kiss and put your hearts together, and you're gonna feel what the fuck I'm talking about. You let down your guard and you accept somebody in a moment where they really need it, and you're there for them in that moment, and nobody's there to watch it and record it, and it's not on live, and you see them crying.
That's when they cut him off. Yeah, they cut him off. They cut him off. They cut him off. They cut him off. Them bastards. My Blanchy Pool, I really hope that he's sincere. There's nothing like the power of the baby. It's not like a power of nightmares of a baby. It's nothing like the power of the nightmares of a baby that's haunting you. That's why we tell you guys all the time, try to do less as possible, because things come back and haunt your ass. Things come, some people would rather be in prison, rather could go to sleep at night. You know how many nights this man probably go to sleep and hear a baby crying? Can you be amazed? Hear a baby crying and it's your baby? Can you imagine if in the video, this dream, the baby's, "Daddy, why you do this to me?" "Daddy, why I'm not here anymore?" Be amazed. You know that song? My mind playing tricks on me. His mind playing tricks on him like crazy. I think that's the reason why he went back to Janae. Because Janae freedom. Janae freedom. But if he's not sincere, Farfello, that'll be on them. All we do is do commentary. All we do is commentary. If they lie, they lie. That's on them. But we will be here to cover it. And we'll blast their ass like we usually do. If he's lying, we're gonna blast the shit out of him. If he's telling the truth. But like I said, it's never a good time or a bad time to tell your truth. Nobody can't tell you when to tell your truth and when you should have said the truth and blah blah blah. The only thing is the truth is out, but partially, and some of the truth is out. It's out. Is it raining? Is it raining? It's pouring. You're gonna say to the lawyer, well job, my son. Well job, my son. Well, guys, this is over. I should have been to bed an hour and a half ago. So I don't know about. Hopefully, we will see tomorrow if I'm running late or not. Stay tuned. So even if I go someplace else, if y'all see me on, come on up in here. Cause it's gonna be on and popping tomorrow, baby. Good night, good wishes, and all that good stuff. Peace, and I'm out.